Okay, welcome everyone to Girls Gang Squad. I'm super pumped for tonight. We got two amazing teams ready to battle it out here. And I have Daxx joining me to co-cast. How are you doing tonight, Daxx? Let me guess I'm muted for him or something because he's staring off. Wondering what's going on. Hang on. Oh no. Hey Daxx, we're live. Sorry, I was muted in Discord.
Oh, that's okay. I saw you talking there, and I got a little bit worried. I was like, oh no. Discord has this habit of switching. For some reason, my headphones have two different output slots for some reason, and then Discord likes to swap them every now and then, so I do have to swap them back. But no, we are here, and I am excited.
I'm super pumped as well. We got two teams going against each other, and one of the most exciting things about tonight is we've got parts of NGS teams, Heroes Lounge teams on both sides. Breakwood, Slice, and Kai having a lot of experience playing together. But on the side of Ladies of Terror, we have Thor Ragnar, Salvaje, and Karu who have played plenty together as well. So they'll already have a little bit of team synergy going on for both sides going into this evening's games. Now, Mur-der-locs have been around for a couple weeks now, so they already have even more synergy built around it, and they're going to be a tough team to break here. No pun intended, because Breakwood is on that team.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? That's something, like you said, the continuity there from the Ladies of Terror here, already having that synergy, because that's something that takes a little bit to get used to how other players play, following up on certain things, and kind of those comms that go unsaid a lot of times. So, yeah, I am excited to get into this one, and I'm expecting an all-out brawl here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. We are getting those readies from the teams right now, and we can jump into game number one. Game number one, we're going to Brax's Holdout. New team gets the option between first pick or map pick, as you know, generally the returning team has a couple weeks experience playing together over the new team. So they did opt to go with map pick here, not first pick. Usually we see teams going with that first pick option. So they're bringing us to Brax's Holdout, and I have an idea of why. Her name is Daxx.
Mm-hmm.
Daxx is known for just running a wide variety of these offlaners that just run it down and just double soak and make a mess of maps. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see Ladies of Terror try to stick with that strategy we've seen previous weeks players going against her have done, is going to those 2-lane maps where they don't have to worry about those shenanigans so much. All right, I looked for those readies. It does look like they are ready to go into it. A lot of happy birthdays going out to Kai. It is Kai Berry's birthday tonight, so we're going to be rating her over at the end of the series. I think she's going to be doing viewer games, ranked viewer games. She's crazy with it. So that should be fun if you guys want to check that out after the stream here. But we are ready. So I'm going to let them know we're going to go into game number one here on Brax's Holdout. This is a best of 5 series, so we got a nice lineup for you here.
All right, and Brax's Holdout, not my favorite map in the map pool here. Just I don't know what it is about it. You know, I can play on it. I understand how it plays, but I think there's 9 times out of 10 most of my teammates when I am on this map have no idea what to do. But the name of the game is those camps and the rotations. So maybe see some Maiev action going on here. Genji, if any of the ladies play it as well. Even Lunara can make the quick rotation there around the boss pit.
Yeah, definitely having some kind of DPS that can do a rotation up to the off lane to get those ganks when needed is beneficial on this map for sure. You definitely want to look at something like wave clear as well, and any kind of point control for holding those points in the top and bottom lane. We are going to see the Rexxar ban coming out first from the side of Mur-der-locs tonight.
Yeah, Misha on these point control maps is just an absolute terror. Because then basically you need 2 bodies to deal with Rexxar. So not wanting to deal with that. Now, like you said, they are on the 2-lane maps here. They may not have to ban the Murky. They may want to just let Daxx have her and save themselves. Have Murky and save themselves the ban.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason they go to these maps, right? They don't have to ban out Murky, so they can ban out other things here. We know that Fujin really, really comfortable on the Lunara, and it does look like, I mean, this is going to sound a little bit mean, but they're picking on the weakest link of the group. I do try to balance these teams as well, so Fujin is the lowest ranked player, so they're just being jerks, is all I'm saying.
And Ghoul Daniel getting the ban here. Fantastic wave clear, great on the defense. Another one, it would be Ragnaros on this particular map, but I maybe expect the Diablo ban, not his greatest map. Does have kind of some spots on those capture points where you can get the stuns on the wall, but the sides are kind of open. But I don't expect Slice to get Diablo here.
I know too that Ladies of Terror have kind of been floating around the idea on Twitter that they're going to let Murky through and they're not scared of it. So, yeah. I mean, but they're going to two-lane maps, so they can just be like, how? We didn't ban your Murky, but we also refuse to play on a map where you could play him.
Right, absolutely. And there's, like I said, there's a good handful. I mean, we could see Hanamura Temple, a couple two-lane maps here, so they can get the victories here. But
yeah, Battlefield of Eternity.
Mm-hmm. But Brandon Breakwood's Sylvanas there, really good Sylvanas player there. And we will see Slice picking up El Diablo.
Yeah, this one partly, I think, a denial pick to Karu as well, because Karu's Diablo is absolutely terrifying. Slice's is just as good though. So, I'm looking for some kind of percent damage over on the side of Ladies of Terror to deal with that. They're gonna go ahead and lock that Mei and Brightwing in first picks for the side of Ladies of Terror.
All right, we have the Fairy Dragon coming out already with Mei. Great health pool and percent-based healing. But we got that global online for Ladies of Terror here. Could see, I know with the Brightwing, the triple melee bruiser comp, because of the percent-based healing is really well. But we're going to see Fujin picking up Cassia here and Kyberries on Deckard.
Cassia, I mean, I know she's had a bunch of nerfs and stuff, but I still feel like she's pretty strong. I've been playing her quite a bit in ranked games myself, with pretty good success.
Yeah, she is the baddest bee in the Nexus, as I know certain people like to call Cassia. She's one of my favorites. And, this particular map, kind of like Kel'Thuzad, is, you got 4 in the bot lane in these 2-lane maps that Fujin can go Q build. That tends to be the build now. But I do like charge strikes. Can get a lot of value with those auto attacks, leaving the mage still available.
Yeah, I do tend to go Q build on her. Charge strikes can work, I guess, but I've just been having fun with Q build. Questing talents are always fun. You gotta like the dings,
Yeah, you do. And then come level 13, you take the extra, you get the talented lightning. So whatever your stacks are, you get the lightning out of your fens. Then anytime you do connect, so it does just a ton of damage.
I
if you can get those stacks.
I also like the Diablo Cassia paired together because I often find sometimes when you're playing these games, and especially maybe not in like higher tier of skilled players, is that you draft a Diablo but you don't have the DPS that's capable of following up when he dives in. Cassia has that fend to kind of close the distance between those targets Diablo is going in for.
Yeah, and then like you said, there's that percent-based damage. Tychus is online here as well as Orphea, so I do like the combo there between Mei and Orphea. Not necessarily the dirty bathtub, but Mei, if she does go Ice Wall, can set that up as well. Brightwing, the polymorph on that Diablo when they go in, and then just Tychus being able to chunk Diablo down pretty well.
We could still see that dirty bathtub yet. Leorg is up. They don't have their off laner. Traxxas just took Sonya, which I know Salvaje likes to play in the off lane. So, and you know what? I actually love a Leo pickup here. Yeah, we're getting it.
There it is.
I love a Leorg pickup here. Leo is one of my favorite things to play against a Diablo too, because he just dives in and you're like, oh, okay, easy, slow, and then I put my Drain Hope on you, and now you're just getting chunked with percent damage from me, Tychus, and maybe even Orphea, depending on how she builds, although not usually the talent pickup on Orphea.
Yeah, and as we see with the current iteration of the pro scene in the CCL, even you and I casting a heroic match last night, Entomb is one of those CCs that you can't medallion your way out of. And this team, other than Leap or Diablo Q, there's no way out of those Entombs come level 10, and then 20 on the Silence as well.
Yeah, you are right. We were talking about specifically last night with the Nazebo zombie walls. Is you can't medallion yourself out of that, and we even saw sometimes people, out of habit, hit that medallion and waste it when they're in something like that, thinking I'm stuck. I just use this, and it's a get out of jail free card. But let's get into this. Game number 1 of our best of 5 series. Ladies of Terror on the left-hand side with Rockwell on the Tychus, Karu on the Mei, Jen on the Brightwing, Thor Ragnar on the Orphea, and Salvaje on the Leoric.
All right, and your reigning champions on the Mur-der-locs, we have Breakwood on Tassadar, Traxx on Sonya, Kyberries, the Birthday Girl on Deckard, Fujin on Cassia, and Slice on Diablo.
I think these are going to be some really fun games tonight.
I am excited here. I'm going to see if there was the dance battle. I know we see a lot of talk here in the Discords.
Breakwood goes for it, and Karo's just like, nah, I'm not about that life. Let me just throw some damage onto you. Karo's saying, oops, I never did it.
Not going to happen.
All right, Slice managing to knock Karu back into her here. We have that Deckard root coming out. So Ragnar having to stay a little bit too far forward, taking a bit of damage to avoid the root. Fujin just sitting over here on the flank, tossing out damage when she can. Rockwell getting flipped over by the Diablo and pushed back, but the rest of the team had eyes on Karu there, so not really much to be gained. Let's check out this top lane. I want to know how this matchup between the Leoric and Sonya is going. All right, it's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, but Salvaje looks like she's holding her own up there. It's kind of forcing Traxx to take quite a bit of damage.
Now, I will say she is going Furious Blow build, which you don't necessarily see that all too often. So, I mean, opting out for the block against Leo or even the healing on the auto attack. So, but, that does give her percent base damage if she goes slam on 16. And a little bit better wave clear as well.
All right, that is a trait being popped by Mei there. Blizzard coming out from her. She does try to knock a couple members, and it is going to be Fujin getting caught in that Blizzard, but Force Wall coming out from Tassadar, keeping Rockwell having to position a little bit forward, but it looks like we're going to see Cassia have to back up for a moment and at least eat some Deckard potions. Thor Ragnar getting flipped by the Diablo now. He's going to be able to back up, but not before eating a Tassadar Q. Rockwell going in, trying to get some damage out onto Fujin. Orphea trying to follow that up as well. But so far, just a lot of damage traded back and forth and no kills.
Yeah, these ladies are out for blood, and I will say I do like having a Brightwing on this map. Her healing does not need to consume mana, so she can kind of sustain here for a lot longer than Deckard
Slice going in for the stun there onto Mei. It does connect. She is polymorphed and stuck in the backline. Blizzard being dropped by Mei. She does use her trait to get out of there. Pings are going out for the Cassia here, and they do manage to get that first blood and a full Zerg wave going over to the side of Ladies of Terror to kick this game off.
Yeah, they are coming out swinging. Like I said, in a lot of other iterations, we kind of see the new team maybe a little slow getting the reverse sweep. But, these Ladies of Terror are a tear here on the Brax's holdout. We're going to see the first wall go down here. Breakwood getting half health, really low on mana as well. May have to back here, but being the best wave clear that the team has at this point down here in the bottom, she's going to try and have to stick it out. But Kyra's going for it, going to throw down the Blizzard, going to try to slice, or I'm sorry, not slice, oh my goodness, icing into her. Breakwood awfully low again, going to get the spell shield. Going to be able to back off there.
This fort is going down. That Zerg wave still not cleared up here. Sonya rotating down though, looking to see if she can help out her team. Karu sliding in, trying to find something. But for now, the members of Mur-der-locs are backed up to safety, and this wave, not too much left on it here. We are going to see the Ladies of Terror backing up now, her thing to go collect some mana, and I would expect them to get on camps right away. Look at this level lead. Full level up just off of this. 3 minutes into the game, and they're full level up on Mur-der-locs.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think I most hate about Brax's holdout is that it's a very snowbally map. So if they can continue to carry this into the second objective, maybe get a boss. I mean, I've seen Brax's games end around 10-12 minutes.
Yeah, Luminaire says that wave did a lot, didn't it? Does Mur-der-locs lack wave clear? A little bit, yeah. I mean, Tassadar really has his W and Q. It's not like that's a spammable ability. And then Cassia, well, what build did she go?
She did go Q build.
She went Q build, so
No.
No, they don't have.
Yeah,
They don't have the
essentially,
best
yeah.
wave clear. You are right there. They have the Sonya, but Sonya didn't come down to help clear that up. She stayed top to soak her lane. Maybe that's something they could have discussed, is sending Fujin potentially up into the off lane to cover it while Sonya helps clear Zerg wave.
Yeah, so normally we do see this now is that in the second phase, or heading towards the second objective, we do see the 4-man and the offlaners switch.
Yeah, especially when you've gotten down that fort in the opposite lane. It just, it works. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, just Savahe stepping back here a little bit, was pressuring the Sonya a little bit, but going to have to clear this Bruiser camp down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, so the thing is it works really well because the offlaner gives much more freedom to them to win that bottom lane when there's not a fort or fountain for the other offlaner to fall back to. Thor Ragnar getting caught out there, stunned by the Diablo, follow-up damage from the Cassia and the Tassadar, securing the kill there. And if your 4-man already ran it down bottom to get a fort, chances are they might be able to do the same thing top. Rockwell getting flipped by the Diablo there, but no stun, so she was able to just kind of chunk him a little bit and force him to back off. Orphea coming back up now, so she'll be able to join that team, but that Tassadar Q connecting onto Jen and Rockwell. They're going to take a little bit of damage before this next objective is out. The phase shift coming out from Brightwing to heal her up, though. So they're going to be ready to go as soon as Orphea's back.
Yep, I think so. And just a quick second on stack watch. We do have 90 stacks on that stack charge for Breakwood there, and we have 22 stacks on Thunderstroke for Cassia.
Well, I'll mention this when we're done because we do have a Blizzard coming out from Mei right now. It does connect onto Fujin here, but Thor Ragnar off doing her own thing again. I'm looking a little bit concerned for her. Breakwood looking to chase her down, but she does manage to get out. She's just getting a little bit separated in these fights, and she's not trading too well into that Tassadar. It's not working out. That Q from the Tassadar, whew, a little too close for comfort. But it's okay, though, because bottom lane, Leoric is holding his own. They're still a full level up on Mur-der-locs, so they're going to hit that level 10 first, and that's when they can look to really secure top lane. We do have a rotation. Cassia is going down bottom to help out with the Sonya. So Salvaje needs to be a little bit careful, but this is going to be a 4v3 in the top lane, which means we might be seeing something happening up here. Caro is going in on that Diablo. The Blizzard is out. Doesn't connect onto anyone. No roots coming out there. Rockwell up in the lane, catching the soak there, and they're going to be able to secure top. So if they have to send 2 people down to deal with Salvaje, it really leaves that top lane very vulnerable. So they are able to cap that there.
Yep, absolutely, and we will see the swap. We're going to see Fujin now maybe try to get some of this range damage onto the Leoric here. But like you said, you're essentially winning this lane. They got to have 2 people in lane for it.
Kaiberry stepping up a little bit there, taking quite a bit of damage, but Traxix is on the tank here. They're going to continue to hold this top.
Down here in the bot lane, I think. Savaje is chasing around, hit her with a Q, and then there it is, and down goes Fujin.
This is level 10s online now for the side of Ladies of Terror. We are going to see Avalanche getting picked up by the Mei. There's going to be Eternal Feast from the Orphea, and Tomb from the Leoric, Laser, the Drill, I should say. Draken Laser Drill from the Tychus, and Blink Heal from the Brightwing. This is the channel starting up once again for the side of Ladies of Terror, currently sitting at about, oh, never mind, the cap bottom, but they're sitting at 44%, and now they're starting to run down this fort in the top lane.
Yep, 10's not online yet. Poor Kaiberry's up there to try and defend this fort. 1v4 doing a fantastic job. Slice is going to come up and get the wall bang onto Kairu on the little wall there. Going to Flame Breath to get a little bit of poke damage there, but the Blizzard's going to come out from Kairu's ice coming out onto Fujin. She's going to be able to get out of there, keeping that avoidance up to keep that armor up on herself as well. But out comes the Feast. Not going to connect with anybody. Going to get 2 chomps there.
In the bottom lane, Tassadar and the Sonya forcing the Leoric back here. Did look like she was going to back, but it kind of seems like she's stepping back up here to try and cap this point. Tassadar still sitting down this bottom lane, though, so it's looking a little dangerous. The APOC coming out from Diablo, though, and they do get that pick onto Brightwing. Rockwell trying to get some percent damage onto the Sonya, but a huge avalanche coming out from Mei. That's going to peel her team, allow them to get to safety here, as long as they don't do too much trying to re-engage, but their eyes are set on Fujin. Karu going in for the slide. Blizzard is out. Is she going to be able to avoid it? Yes, for now, but it looks like Sonya might be in a bit of trouble here because that percent damage is just shredding her, and down she goes.
All right, and we were seeing a trade down here. Breakwood is getting a little sketchy. I didn't know if she did take Blink or not. 13s are not online.
The
She's going to get the Entomb in here. Salvaje is wailing away on Breakwood. Didn't have the armor, but it is not enough. And Salvaje is just wrecking this off lane. I mean, we saw 3 people down here against Savaje to try and at least cap this bottom point, and she is just doing work.
Yeah, she's doing really, really well on the Leoric. I mean, they've tried several different rotations here to try and figure out how to match her in that lane, but it's not working out for them here. They are going to try and take the siege camp, but it's not going over for free. The Eternal Feast is out from Orphea, but they get the pick onto Brightwing, and they're all in on this camp, but that Eternal Feast just chunking everyone down. We are going to see Sonya and Cassie as well as Diablo fall, and now Kyber is looking like she might be in a little bit of trouble. The Q's connecting from Orphea, continuing to close that distance. And she is going to fall as well. That is a 4-for-0 that got Diablo's soul there. Look at Orphea popping off there. She got so many kills. Hello, Biff's in chat saying Daxx Nation.
What is up, Biff? Hello, Ella, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Enjoying this wonderful Ladies of the Nexus, putting on a show for everybody here tonight.
All right, this is a big, healthy Zerg wave going for this keep. I don't think there's any way that this keep survives here. Level 13s are online for the side of Ladies of Terror. Those level 10s have been up for a little bit now for Mur-der-locs, but there's the Entomb coming out with the Eternal Feast to follow it up. APOC coming out to try and peel for the team here. Slice getting quite low. Salvaje doing what she can to chase her down. They do get the pick, but look at Breakwood. She is just Archon form and autoing her life away there. Manages to get the pick onto the Brightwing, and the Orphea falls as well to the Cassia.
All right, and 13's a great defense. They did lose the keep here, but you know they could have been far worse being down 13's. 13's now online. Kill count 9-5 in favor of the Ladies of Terror here. As we see, we could see nope, Diablo is up. They are down 2 members. Let's say maybe a peek at the boss. They're just going to opt for their own Bruiser camp and probably their siege camp down in the bot.
Yeah, one of the difficult things about playing from behind on this map is it's really hard to find something, or find value, I should say, when you get these kills. So they're back up already, and they're taking camps on their side of the map. There wasn't even enough time for them to grab structures or anything, but they're down a keep now, and down their fort in the bottom lane. And really, in terms of camps, they're pretty even. There wasn't much for them to find there after getting that team fight. And the Entomb coming out onto the Deckard here. Everyone just clumping up, trying to find that, though. So the Leap comes out and connects onto 4 members. There is an Avalanche there, sending the Sonya and the Tassadar into the back line. We have the Tychus dropping his drill here. So that's going to do a little bit of damage onto that Tassadar, and they managed to get the kill there using that drill. And now the chase is on for the rest of the members of Mur-der-locs. Slice looks like she might be in a bit of trouble here. Slow's coming out. She has that blind as well. She tries to go back in, at least maybe save her teammates if she's going to go down. And it does look like Fujin is out for now. Traxx backing to get that health. Fujin left here by herself to try and defend this push for the keep. We do have a boss up, though. Level 16's online for the side of Ladies of Terror, so we might see a boss call coming out here, especially since core needs to be cleared in the top lane.
Yeah, as I said, death timers are still a little short, being under level 16, so that is what we are going to see the Ladies of Terror rotate here for this boss. We'll go bot lane, since that is where the last structure is, that final keep there for Mur-der-locs.
Rockwell getting quite low on this boss, though. However, it does look like Mur-der-locs are just going to give this one over. They don't have that level 16, so I think they're a little bit afraid to check it out, although they know that it's probably happening because they were making their way over here. Kara going in, dropping that Blizzard there, just to kind of scare them off. The Bruiser, or the Siege Camp on the side of Mur-der-locs is up for them to take if they would like to, but they have a boss to clear that's heading to keep.
Yeah, this is essentially a free objective for Ladies of Terror. They may not push with this boss. They're just going to get some more camp pressure, the macro pressure on the top lane here, since that is where everything is going to end up going. Fortunately for the Mur-der-locs there, if they can keep their keep here, the Zerg wave is going to be pushing bottom for the, I'm sorry, Ladies of Terror, not Lower Terror. I was looking at the outlaw there for a second.
All right, that Zerg wave quickly climbing here, 74% and going up. They are pushing in that camp top, just trying to get enough pressure in these lanes to keep these teams from being able to step up to contest this objective. So this will be 100% Zerg wave going over to the side of Ladies of Terror. And look at this Entomb coming out from Salvaje. They're going to catch Breakwood here. Here's the Eternal Feast, and they are all in. No ults held for her. Well, I mean, there was a couple, but I mean, they're all in for that kill on Breakwood, the Eternal Feast being popped. A little overkill probably, but they wanted it.
Hey, as we said earlier in the beginning of the match show, we are both a fan of the Dirty Bathtub combo, so we are seeing it here. Game 1 coming out, not pulling any punches, is Ladies of Terror coming out. They want a piece of these two, this team here, the reigning champions, 3 weeks in a row. We're going to see Savaje stepping up, getting the Stinky Fist onto Kai Bears here, zoning off Fujin as well. The Zerg wave reaches the core, and the shields are starting to go down here.
Cork falling now. Shield is falling off. We are going to see a 93% and going down. Slice gets picked off. This is a 4v5 now. Core defense. Traxx looking like she might be in a little bit of trouble. Stay a while and listen coming out from Kai Bears, but there's the Entomb once again from Salvai. That's going to catch 2 members of Mur-der-locs, and here's the core. 3%, 2%, and it's down. Game number 1 going over to the side of Ladies of Terror. GG's and well played.
GG's. What a game number 1.
I'm so freaking excited that I managed to get together a team that can actually take on Mur-der-locs, because I was like, shoot. When I made the team, I was like, oh no, this is like basically, Clever Girls version 2, which if you guys have been watching GG's for a while now, Clever Girls, they stuck around for several weeks, and I ended up just having to retire them and being like, yeah, I need you guys I need new teams. You guys are too good. So, and then I accidentally drafted like half their team here. So, Bob, how are you doing? And got Lunchbox in chat. And Wiseman's here. Mishi, Tuna, Luminaire. He's been around before stream even started. I saw him typing in chat. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic night. I appreciate you stopping by to watch these games. Let me update the score for you guys really quickly, and why don't you tell me a little bit about this final scoreboard? Anything interesting you're seeing?
Yeah, I'm just going to say 14-6 on the kill count there, but Rockwell taking the extra range after on that Tychus, the 0 deaths, 111, but having all of the siege damage, having all of the hero damage for the team as well. So just Tychus doing an amazing amount of work into Diablo. But yeah, Savaje, my MVP for that, I think that game number 1 there, 2,000 more experience over Traxx, but really just being a force to reckon with and having multiple people be in that offlane against her.
Yeah, I want to just touch on the Tychus build as well. Typically I've been seeing a lot of Tychuses take the W at level 1 that was moved from level 7 talent, I believe. And then this level 7 talent, they rearranged his talents like a couple patches ago or last patch. But even with that basic attack range, I've still been seeing a lot of people opt to take the grenade at level 1, and then the bigger they are at level 2. So she's kind of changed it up a little bit here. But I mean, I guess it's not too bad since she's going laser, so she's not going to be getting into that Odin, which means if she takes in the rhythm, she can really just shred for much longer while her drill is out as well and ulting. Yeah.
But yeah, the drill was the great pick. I mean, Odin is a great siege tool, but just only had, like you said, the Cassia and the Tassadar, not a lot of just constant sustained damage to deal with that drill. So anytime that Rockwell put it down, it got a kill for sure. I think each and every time.
Yeah, it is typically the less picked alt on Tychus, but we did see some value being grabbed there. Let's not leave Salvaje out of this conversation. Those Entombs this match were on point and game changers for sure. I'm wondering if we're going to see a Leoric target ban here going forward. Definitely, I don't think they're going to be able to sneak through an Orphea Leoric pick together. If those things turn up in the draft, the other's going to get banned in the second half of the ban phase. So if they want to run Orphea Leoric, I have a feeling they're going to need to lock it in the first half of the draft.
Yep, and she's going W build. Normally, 9 times out of 10 you see most Leorics going into that E build for damage reduction, but going on for that full sustain there. Having to deal with 2 or 3 people, so going to get those big Qs. Having Asu and the renewal and the W.
Yeah, definitely not like the typical build, especially if you're not going March at 10, but when you have those beefy targets like the Diablo, Sonya, it can kind of pay off. You are right, it's not the usual build. And Orphea as well, I just wanted to note, she did take Q at level 4, which is not the talent we generally see picked up on Orphea, as well as the 13 and 16 Q talents as well, or Shadow Waltz talents, I should say. So she did have percent damage, I believe, on 16 is when it comes. Yeah. So she was going percent damage build as well. So they were just ready to shut down a Diablo pick between the Tychus percent damage, the Leoric, and then the Orphea as well. They were ready to go. Let me hit up the teams here, see where they want to go to. I'll pop us back over to our screen, and let me update the score real quick as well on this page.
So my guess, let's see the counter pick here. They may not want to go first pick. I could see them wanting to go a 3-lane map, maybe Cursed Hollow, something like that. Maybe Garden of Terror to kind of get value out of that Murky and force them to maybe let some other things open.
Well,
maybe Sylvanas.
Yeah, and you're calling it right because we do have a map pick coming in from the side of Mur-der-locs, and we are going to Towers of Doom for game number 2. I am loving the series so far. Kick it off with Ladies of Terror getting the win in game number 1, and then going to Towers of Doom, my favorite map, for game number 2. No complaints over here.
No, absolutely not. We could see now. This is a ban where you're probably going to see, like you said, you called it the Leoric ban. Great double soaker. Could see some Zool that doesn't, great double soaker, great siege potential, but doesn't bring a whole heck of a lot to the team fights. Maybe some Malthael here, or maybe even a Urel or a Sonya again.
All right, lobby is filtering in here. Wyson wants the new Warhead Junction. We did start it out on Warhead Junction a couple weeks ago, but there hasn't really been any interest to go back to there.
I actually don't mind it. I mean, you have every hero as basically a pseudo global now, because you can kind of pick and choose where you want to be and get some good rotational ganks.
It's a little bit of a wonky map now with the tunnel, but it makes it fun and interesting. Let's get this team sorted here.
But yeah, I like, anything can tower on Towers of Doom. A lot of people avoid this map because it is, it's not over until it's over. There's no pushing. You need to cap the objectives to do the damage onto the core. So this is a good way to get maybe the reverse sweep, or at least get the momentum swinging back in Mur-der-locs' favor.
All right, the lobby is all set up and ready, so we're going to look from the readies to get into game number 2 on Towers of Doom. If you're just tuning in, you missed an amazing first game from Ladies of Terror. They managed to run it down on Brax's holdout, leading the series 1-0 tonight. This is a best of 5, so we still got lots of games lined up for you, so don't go anywhere. All right, ready is coming out from team Mur-der-locs, just looking for the ready from the side of Ladies of Terror here in just a moment. Do you think we're going to see some ban changes from Ladies of Terror now that we're going to Towers of Doom? Are they going to ban out that Murky? I think and Traxxas also plays Zool. So I don't know. What are you thinking?
I am not sure. This could be a Gazlo map as well. I'm not sure if any of the ladies play Gazlo, but I've seen Murky work on here on this particular map, especially post 10, with going March of the Mur-der-locs can just stall an objective for an eternity for the team. But depending on the double soak part of it, I'm not sure. I think they let it ride, and if it happens to come out, it happens to come out.
Yeah, see, I'm sometimes worried that previous weeks going into this teams and just playing against Traxxas in general, no matter what team she's on, a lot of bans go out onto Traxxas. They end up banning out Murky, they end up banning out Zool, and then maybe they even go for the Sonya too and really try to choke her on her off-lane picks. But then you have all these other players getting their top tier picks on the side of Mur-der-locs. Fujin gets to play her Lunara every game for free, which is her comfort pick. Breakwood gets to bring in her best hero for each map every time for free. Kaiberries gets her pick of the healers, and then Slice is just like, yeah, I can play like 8 tanks really well, and you can try to ban me, but guess what? You just left my favoriteest of favorite tanks up, and I'm taking that now.
Yeah, so Breakwood's her hero pool is great. I mean, she plays a fantastic Li Ming. She plays a fantastic Sylvanas. Both those heroes are fantastic on this map. Siege damage, just try and push hard bot and hold it as long as possible. So I maybe expect that might be the ban is onto Breakwood's hero pool here.
Okay, I'm looking for those readies once again. I think they're good. These ladies, when they're in like the you guys don't get to see this side of it, but they're just nonstop talking in the lobby channel chat and draft chat stuff. So, all right. I think they're both ready. All right, Kara's talking. That's who we were waiting for. So let's get into game number 2 on Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom.
Banning Murky against Mur-der-locs is BM, says Wiseman in chat.
Yeah, it's the namesake, right? We got the Diablo, theme going on for Ladies of Terror. Can't ban that either.
All right. So this time we are going to see Ladies of Terror having first pick, as it is Mur-der-locs who are bringing us 2 Towers of Doom. I like that this is a switch up too. Normally teams are all going for the first pick option instead of map picks, but they've changed their strategies going forward and they want map pick priority.
And so far, sticking to the game plan, like you said, banning out that Lunara, trying to get Fujin off of her comfort picks. And that's something to be said. Not that Lunara's not a meta hero, but just a meta hero in general is okay if you play it okay. But at the same time, if you're really comfortable on a hero and know the true ins and outs and have that muscle memory, it's something to be spoken for.
Wiseman says, I really enjoy GGs on Fridays. Thanks for putting this on, Jazzy. Oh, I really appreciate you tuning in to watch it. It's lots of fun to cast. It's lots of fun to play in as well. And the community that we built around it is incredible. Like, the ladies are so supportive of each other. And they can all come together for great causes, like our charity stream coming up soon on December 12th. Interesting that they don't have first pick, so they're going to ban out that Diablo, deny that from Karu.
So it wasn't banned last game or picked, but do we get to see Rockwell play Falstad?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, this is one of those maps where, having a global is not the worst. You can get that altar and then fly up to a different one. The charity stream on... Sorry, just questions in chat. Charity stream on December 12th will be supporting Toys for Tots. We chose that one just because it's been a rough year for a lot of people financially with COVID and job loss. So we're going to be raising money for Toys for Tots to try and help out some families to make some kids' Christmases a little bit happier.
All right, and an Asmodan ban.
Interesting.
I don't know if we have an Asmo player here, but I like it. It's spicy. And we did see that Li Ming ban coming out towards Breakwood here. So maybe a first pick Sylvanas. I don't think it's a bad pick here. She can take Merc Queen at level 4, boost those pumpkins, sapper camps, get extra damage out onto that. But excuse me, they are going to leave that open. I expect maybe Breakwood to pick that up here since it's not banned. But Jen locking in that Brightwing, picking up another global, and kind of do the same thing that Falstad, what we were talking about Falstad can do.
Beck says, were they watching them practice earlier? Strange to ban Asmo. I know, because I have access to their team chats, I know that these ladies have been scouting each other all week looking for when they've been playing together and when they've just been doing their own things, trying to figure out what they might be seeing tonight. It is going to be the denial here. May getting picked up by Slice.
Yeah, so May getting picked up there, and the giant minion himself, Raynor, one of my favorite heroes. Love to play Raynor. Just always excited to see him. Great siege damage coming out there. But Sylvanas is still on the table with Salvaje opting for the Sony this time. Probably expecting Traxx to go Zul. Sony trades well into Zul, and not afraid to pick up what she wants here early. And then Rockwell on the Gray main.
I am a little concerned though that if they do let the Zool through, she typically goes Poison Nova, and that's a lot of damage dumped out, AoE damage onto the entire team the majority of the time, especially how they're building now because they're very melee heavy. They still need a tank. That Brightwing's not going to be able to heal them up through that. And they're really focusing out Karu's picks here. Is the Osmo ban coming out from the side of Mur-der-locs.
All right, so that is an Anubarak ban.
Or sorry, a Anubarak.
Yeah. So not one of those double stuns. The Cocoon removing one person from these team fights. But we get the third and final ban coming out here. They do need a healer. See if they maybe go against Deckard. The sleeps are something difficult to deal with. But Alex Straza, no Dargans allowed.
I know that is one of Kai's favorite healers, but again, I almost feel like banning a healer is pretty pointless with Kai because she plays so many of them so well. So unless you really, unless there's a healer that's really going to synergize extremely well with your team, I almost feel like it's a wasted ban. And there's that Murky pick coming through from Daxx.
Absolutely. And then it's just one of those things, like even the Brightwing Z and Greymane as well, that just kind of Deckard Sleeps kind of wrecks a lot of what they want to do. So as a Greymane player myself.
We have a raid coming in from Star Zerg. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you had a fantastic stream. Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, this is Girls Gank Squad. I put this show on every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's a best of 5 series of all female teams going head to head, kind of like a fight night every Friday night. So if you are interested in that, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're just interested in casted Heroes of the Storm games in general, that's basically all I do on this channel these days. So hit that follow button.
All right, ETC and Chromie going to round out Ladies of Terror team here. And there is that last pick, Sylvanas, for Breakwood.
Yeah, this is a good pickup for Breakwood here. She's very, very good on the Sylvanas. Hopefully enough to help carry her team. I'm a little concerned. They're looking a little bit squishy over on the side of Mur-der-locs, but just kind of have to wait and see how it plays out for them. My other concern here is May's one of those tanks, again, that kind of likes to dive in. But Raynor and Sylv more sit back and do their poke unless Sylvanas is going for a very aggressive Banshee build. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out, but I'm excited to see how game number 2 is gonna go down. On the left hand side, we have Ladies of Terror with Salvaje on the Sonya, Jen playing Brightwing, Thor Ragnar on the Chromie, Rockwell playing the Gray main. I almost said Gray Daddy, but Karu on the ETC.
Hey, you know what? I will call him that for the rest of my time in this game. But for Mur-der-locs, we have Slice on the May, Breakwood picking up Sylvanas, Traxx on Merkboy, Kai Berries on Anduin, and Fujin on the Raynor.
3, 2, 1. Well, what are you waiting for?
Well, I wasn't saying I gotta hop away and watch dinner. Is there somewhere I can watch the VODs later? I do try my best to upload them to YouTube, but I've kind of been dropping the ball lately with all the uploads I've been having to do for NGS. But my VODs are saved onto Twitch, so if you want to come back and watch them here, they will always be here for you to watch. I think both... Oh, Power Slide going out onto the Raynor here. He is knocked back. Greymane going in to try and finish the kill, but the Leap of Faith coming out from the Anduin to save him. And Murky, meanwhile, already doing Murky things in that top lane, getting a wave of soak. I expect to see the team split off now. Murky and Sonya doing the double soaking between mid and top, while the rest of them do the 4-man thing bottom and get ready to take those sapper camps in just a moment here.
All right, and just peeking on the two offlaners here, just going to do their thing and kind of ignoring each other, just getting soaked for their teams. But pumpkin camps are up now on both sides here, as we see Ladies of Terror rotating onto this one already, as we see a little slow on the wave clear side here for Mur-der-locs there, and we do see Ace in the hole, so it does pair well with Overwhelming Affliction on the Sylvanas.
Might be getting an invade here, you know, having a Greymane on your camp. There's a Power Slide going out. Caro in the back line here. Slice getting chunked down just a little bit, and the chase is on for the kill onto Fujin. They want this camp. They are here for it. Are they going to get it? And it does look like it's going to play out that way. Ladies of Terror showing up already again in game number 2 with that camp invade.
All right, and that is the first tower on the front wall down here bottom, but just the amount of wave clear coming out on the side of Ladies of Terror here, and taking a peek at, we do have Q build for Chromie here, and looking to get those stacks.
Fujin getting a couple Qs to the face there, taking a ton of damage from that Chromie. But they do manage to clear that camp. They're saving that tower so far. But Ladies of Terror looking pretty strong in the early game. There's that Blizzard coming out from Slice. She's not quite able to slide and knock anyone back into it. Just a lot of poking back and forth here between these two teams in the bottom lane. Power slide going out from the ETC. Doesn't connect though, and Slice is on to re-engage for that, trying to punish the ETC, but it doesn't quite work out. He is able to back off. Meanwhile, Altars spawning in, 2 in the top, 1 in the mid lane. Likely to see the Altars in the top traded, but it looks like Murky might be a bit late getting to his altar, so let's just see if maybe there's an interrupt coming out from Sonya. She is going to rotate over here. Let's see if she can make it in time.
Land that Q. Oh, does not connect
just
there.
A split second. Meanwhile,
and, yeah, Mur-der-locs opting to give up that bottom one for the wave clear, trying to catch back up. Hope that they can get a little bit of a level lead here. Looks like they will get close to 7s first.
Slice and Traxx hanging out in the mid here. Rockwell trying to put some nice damage out onto Slice. Brightwing coming in with a phase shift to heal her up, but they are going to catch that soak for Sonya, so she has a little bit more time to get down to that mid lane. Interestingly enough, they're not keeping the Sylve in the 4-man right now. It looks like maybe they're going to change up their strategy and just pressure the offlaner a bit. And see how that works out.
Yeah, they do have the XP advantage. Just taking a peek here. I mean, between Sonya and Murky, it's a little even. The rest of the team, Breakwood opting to catch a couple of waves mid there during that bottom objective.
All right, that siege camp capped over on the side of Ladies of Terror. It does look like they're going for that invade once again. This time, though, Murky is hanging out in that mid lane and can make a rotation down if the team needs it, though I don't know how much he's going to provide in the team fight at level 7. Power slide going out onto Raynor there, followed up by the polymorph, and then he's just deleted the Chromie damage coming out. There's nothing he could really do there. This camp now up for grabs here by Ladies of Terror. They're going to go ahead for the invade, take that camp away. Well, meanwhile, May and Anduin try to clear out the sappers from the side of Ladies of Terror that they took just before.
All right, and let's see if Breakwood, if she does have the trait up, she can turn off these sapper camps to turn them there we go. She does turn them off to keep them from rotating, but she's going to have to stay here and auto-attack these, which means they're going to, Ladies of Terror are going to have this. Fujin, I would just get on out of there if you can, girl. Just get the Q off there. Going to tap the heal. The spear coming out onto Fujin. She will be able to sneak away. Slices will come in there to try and get some kills, zoning off the rest of the team.
Look at this flank onto Breakwood flanking on the back line of Rockwell, but the Brightwing coming in with the phase shift to heal her up there. I thought Greymane might be in a bit of trouble, but it turns out the team's just getting a little bit too separated over on the side of Mur-der-locs, and they're going to pay for that. Raynor goes down. Murky gets picked off. He'll be back up in a second. Not as big of a deal here. And Breakwood getting quite chunked, having to hearth now. And the tower going over to the side of Ladies of Terror, making the score 36-24 in favor of, I'm just going to say, a LOT.
Yeah, absolutely, and Breakwood getting awfully close there. I mean, she dodged a Chromie Q there, like the skin of her teeth, though. But focus is now set on this bottom bell tower. About 50% health here, as we do see the slide coming out onto 2 members of Mur-der-locs. Then Thorogor's going to zone in here, try and get some extra Qs and some damage. But the great Q coming out from Fujin to keep Greymane off of the team.
Level 10s are hit now for the side of Ladies of Terror. Cursed Bullet from the Greymane. Mosh being picked up by ETC. Chromie's had her slowing sands for a little bit now, but it's going to be Blink Heal from the Brightwing, and Wrath of the Berserker picked up by Sonya. This is the tank matchup is interesting because basically what you're seeing here is any time that the Mei tries to go in and slide in and look for something, ETC is just like, you know what, guys? Just ignore the Mei. I'm going to dive the back line. I'm going to look to power slide. Greymane, you follow me up. Chromie, I know you got the range to really hit anything that I stun. And Mei can just get stuck separated from her team while we go in. We have those level 10s now online. It looks like Brightwing might be getting stuck, but she does manage to blink heal out of there, unfortunately, right into a light bomb. Avalanche coming out, separating ETC and Rockwell. Huge wailing arrow from the Sylvanas, but Murky going in for that Octo grab there. Unfortunately, Sylvanas trying to Banshee in and finish off some of the members on the side of Ladies Hair is going to cost her life. And here's the Mosh. Going to catch Murky and the Raynor, but Raynor getting pulled out by the Anduin Leap of Faith. So this is a, I think it was ending up being like a 2 for a Murky at the end of it all. Or I guess I saw Sylvanas as well. Thor Ragnar just hanging around a little bit too long here. We're going to see her fall as well.
Alright, the Slice and Fujin and Kaiberries, all three of them really low on health, not having the health pool or essentially the mana pool either to try and cap this bottom one. So we will see the trade here on this double objective. Fujin going to do a great route coming out from Kaiberries there to keep Fujin alive.
But we're starting to see what Daxx does on that Murky. You know, she knew the altar was bottom, didn't bother showing up for the fight. Her Octo grab, I'm not sure if it was on cooldown, but she just decided to go steal the camp over on the side of Ladies of Terror. Now we're going to see her start to try and run it down in these other lanes here. Sonny going up to match Murky in that top lane. Chromie making a rotation down. It does look like they're going to go for this camp invade. Once again, Mosh is down, though, so a little bit scary. But if they can just burst down a member, here's the light bomb coming out from Anduin. Fujin looking like she might be in a bit of trouble here, but Mei able to peel for her. We have that Gladiator's Medallion used by Karu, and there's the Avalanche connecting onto Chromie. They do get the kill onto Greymane. Murky getting picked off in the top lane, so not really an even trade there by at all, but at least some XP made up in the top lane. Level 13's... Yep, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that 13's now online, but unfortunate boot by Kairu there. You know, the light bomb coming out onto the Raynor, and she hitting the W to boop. Unfortunately, boop that light bomb back into the team.
All right, they are looking to walk these sappers in. Going to hit that front gate. Now we have the Sylvanas Black Arrow shutting down this wall. Going to take down the entire wall in the bottom fort. The next altar spawning in. Level 13's not quite online yet, but almost there for the side of Ladies of Terror. Score currently 32-20 in favor of Ladies of Terror. But it does look like Mur-der-locs is starting to find their footing in this match. And the best thing about Towers of Doom is this game is the comeback map.
All right, absolutely. I do like the position better for the Ladies of Terror here. We're going to see Savahe rotate down here. Daxx X is a little bit low here. Jen going to start the channel here, but I don't like the channel without any sort of advantage here. But Tyra's going to be able to slide in. Slice getting polymorphed, and down goes Slice on Daxx is the next point of advantage. Going to... Oh, so close.
Salvaje is just in the back line, spinning to win, looking to get those picks on the squishies, and she does manage to find that. The kill onto Sylvanas and the Raynor. Kai managing to survive, but this bottom bell tower about to go over to the side of Ladies of Terror. This is terrifying for Mur-der-locs, because once you're in this position where this bottom bell tower is just held, I see so many teams just sit in the bottom lane trying to force taking it back and ending up feeding and giving even more XP over to the side that's holding it. They are going to back up to take their siege camp here, but you know, typically you see teams just try to hold this bottom bell tower, as it really denies rotations from the enemy team to a lot of these objectives. Cherry Darlin's in chat. Good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Big B saying that this Sonya is just a beast.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. All right. Level 16's coming online soon for the side of Ladies of Terror. Here's the thing, too. Having a Chromie here, you can really just kind of sit back and poke it down.
And gonna see the flank from Daxx. She's probably just gonna maybe bribe the camp here to kind of help some damage out onto this. But she's looks like she does have auto grab available, so maybe a flank on a pick here onto Jen. Nope, she is just going to continue to get that soak. We do see Salvaje finishing up this top. Sapper camp getting some more pressure up top on maybe another bell tower as we see the teams rotate a little slow on the rotation from Ladies of Terror here. So we're gonna see maybe a double cap invade here by Mur-der-locs.
Yeah, they are ready to go in the top lane here. Salvaje might be finding herself in a bit of trouble as she is up here alone. The silence coming out from Sylvanas, and there is the Octo grab from Murky. Down goes the Sonya, and it is going to be 2 towers in the top being grabbed by Mur-der-locs to the 1 of Ladies of Terror. But keep in mind, they have a bell tower capped in the bottom, so not as many points onto the core as it could have been for Mur-der-locs being down that bell tower.
Yeah, it was actually just a one-shot difference there. Mur-der-locs did cap the 2, but like I said, 3 and 3 is 6, and then having the 5 bell towers on the side of Ladies of Terror, though. So not necessarily, it was a bad trade. They did lose Salvaje there, but they're going to rotate on Boss here. Sneaky Play is going to trade Boss for bottom camp here, but they're a little bit slow here on it without the Sonya. And we see the team rotate up on this. We're going to see a Boss over here.
They do manage to get here in time, and look at that snowball coming out! They're going to manage to steal that Boss. What a beautiful play from Slice here. And the chase is on now for the members. We have that Octo grab coming out, connecting onto the Grey Mane. They're doing all they can to heal him up. Jen popping spell armor onto herself and getting those heals from the blink heals onto Rockwell. She is going to manage to survive for now. It looks like Karu is out for blood, wants to chase this down. Salvaje stopping in the mid lane, seeing Breakwood and Slice there. And there's Karu eyeing up, trying to just find whatever she can here.
Yeah, what a play and a great comeback here. They are not playing dead here. Just a little fun chat here coming out here.
We are going to see the Grey Mane, Thor Ragnar on the Chromie, and Jen pick up that siege camp over on the side of Ladies of Terror. All 5 members of Mur-der-locs hanging out. They want this fight. They know that Sonya's top. Polymorph going out onto the Murky. He does have that Octo grab up and available if he wants to try and pop that, and they can try to get a pick here. Sonya coming down now, though.
Yep, Avalanche still on cooldown for 20 seconds. We did see Light Bomb get used.
Also, the Raider getting picked off as well, so that is not up.
But Salvaje and Jen getting a little bit zoned off here. The Polymorph coming out onto Daxx. But we're going to see Breakwood jumping on the backline. Fujin getting a little bit low. Salvaje is just doing some great healing for Jen. Getting off the low. The heals will come out from Kai Bears here, but the chase is on. They're going to catch up to Kai Bears here. The Blizzard coming out on Kai. She's going to pop the Warriors Medallion here to continue to chase. But out goes the Blizzard again. I'm sorry, the Avalanche there.
Rockwell's still out for blood, though. She wants this pick on Kai, and she does manage to find that. The Wailing Arrow coming out to try and help out, but unfortunately, it is wasted there. It doesn't save Kai, and now Sylvanas down an ultimate going forward. That siege camp over on the side of Mur-der-locs up and available. They are going to make a play to try and grab that, and I think we can expect bottom bell tower to fall over in favor of Ladies of Terror once again. Now, we have seen Mur-der-locs do this a couple times where if they've fallen behind, they go for the pick on Salvaje, and I think Salvaje has learned her lesson here. She's backing off well behind her fort to safety.
Destroyed a fort.
All right, halfway to 20, so Ladies of Terror do not want to pick the fight here, try and do the best they can to hold this and get 20s as fast as possible to try and end this game here. As we see the teams rotate onto Slice here, the Curse Bolt's going to come out, but not able to connect with anybody here.
Just a note too, they did manage to walk in 2 sappers there, so if they can continue to hold that bottom bell tower, or at least a bell tower going into the next altar phase, they will be able to win this game. Now it does look like Sylvanas and Rain are making short work of that bottom bell tower right now. They're going to be taking that back in just a moment, but the call is on to take this mid one. I can't help but feel that holding the bottom one would have been way more advantageous here for Ladies of Terror because the altar is spawning in that bottom lane. So there is going to be now a fountain and a fort for them to fall back to as they battle it out over this altar in the bottom.
All right, and it looks like Daxx will be a little bit slow trying to get some that lane pushing there for their team. But the zoning's going to kind of happen. Jen looks like she's going to start trying to get the back half here, but Daxx is sniffing it out. Going to pop the bubble. Salvaje is doing the best to get the kill.
Getting really... Kara getting quite low there. Is going to have to back out. There's the avalanche coming out from Maya, but unfortunately it's going to be Raynor getting picked off. Kai looking like she's going to go down as well. Greymane getting the pick there. Slice getting slowed from that Chromie flowing sands. But Breakwood in the back line trying to do something here, trying to find it. She does have that Banshee reset, but unfortunately she's going to fall here as well, and that bell tower still not taking back. So this is going to be game number 2 going over to the side of Ladies of Terror. I don't know if they realize they've won because they're making a call for the bell tower.
Math is hard sometimes. You know, you just automatically think that you kind of forget that the extra shots there. Yeah.
Sometimes I do lose track on this map when you're like, oh, there's a tower left. It's normally 4 shots. We need 5. Oh, we got a bell tower, but I forgot. We're good.
Well, I usually forget about top. So usually if the enemy team has the top and I'm counting the other ones, like, this is good. And then we're still hovering on 1. But but yeah, Ladies of Terror coming out here, their foot on the gas and not letting up here, taking game number 2 from the reigning champs.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying their strategies that they're pulling out here tonight. They're not so much focusing on the Traxx bans. A lot of teams have really poured all of their bans into banning out Traxx's Murky, her Zool, her Sonya, but instead they're just like, you know what, I think we can handle these things. Let's let it through and adapt. So I think that's the best thing that you should do. If you know that a player plays this and this is their hero pool, if you can counter that and play against it instead of having to use a ban up, way better to do that than having to use a ban on something so niche as a Murky.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? And I like their draft because they're more focused on what they want to do on this particular map versus what the enemy team wants to do, right? So, like you said, they focus all their bans onto one particular thing. The other people get, you know, the heroes that they absolutely love, and it's just they can't do anything, and they end up drafting some weird team comp that, you know, just doesn't win the map. But yeah, they are looking pristine here tonight so far in the first 2 games.
Zell in chat saying time for the reverse sweep. Get your R sweeps in chat. I mean, typically we do, if there's a chance that a team's going to end a series, we see if they want a break. So I'm going to check if they would like a break, but they already have a map pick coming out, so maybe we'll just go straight into the next game here. It is, let me update scores too, because I'm a little bit behind here. Any notes you want to say about builds or just the overall end screen here before I close it out?
Let's see. Taking a peek here at the builds. Now, I will see Battle Rage coming out from Sony. You don't get to see that too often. You know, just getting that Merc potential there if she has to steal a camp. I mean, Murky did go bribe, so the 2 of them battling for some of those sapper camps maybe in the top. But other than that, looks like pretty standard builds across the board here. But yeah, I'm wondering, like, even if it's a Brightwing, you know, I mean, like, Jen's comfortable enough. I mean, the polymorphs can do a lot to disrupt what these ladies want to do.
And I'm just looking at the builds. Not too often you see Chromie going Q at level 1, so a little bit weird there. And then Brightwing, you know, you normally see the phase shift at level 7, and level 4 typically the polymorph. If not, I've seen the arcane flare ability picked up. I think this one works for her though, just because there's quite a bit of melee, so she has quite a decent front line to let her step up to auto attack and get those cooldown reductions. It's just not the typical talent. You're putting yourself in a little bit of a risk position wise to take that talent at level 4, but I think in this case, especially since there's not really anyone on the side of Mur-der-locs for them to just like dive onto her if she does step up for those auto attacks, it worked okay. Yeah, let's get this next game up and going here because they have picked a map out. We are going to Infernal Shrines for game number 3. Mur-der-locs are choosing to stick with that map pick option here. Okay, can anyone say Kerrigan ban? Because they need to ban Kerrigan.
Yeah, Kerrigan ban. I mean, you can kind of get rid of that. It's like, Anna's a good healer in general, but that's just that combo between Kai and Breakwood is just, it's nightmare fuel is what that is, 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kerrigan, already by herself with Breakwood playing her, especially on this map, because it tends to be a favorite for her to pick up on Infernal Shrines. Can't blame her there. great shrine clear, great CC and control around the shrine as well. But add in the Ana, oh, man, if you have a nano boosted Kerrigan coming at your face, it is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, throw that in with like a main tank Uther, and yeah, it's just GG next. Just don't even bother. Just playing that up. Save yourself the time. But yeah, Infernal Shrine's one of my favorite maps here. Love just playing on this map and casting on it. Just a lot going down. These Punishers throw a lot into the mix, and these pit fights here with the Shrine skeletons makes for some interesting plays.
All right, just getting the last couple ladies in here before we get into game number 3. This is a best of 5 series, so if Ladies of Terror can get the win here, this means they'll unbelievably 3-0 Mur-der-locs, which is quite a feat. But Mur-der-locs, really strong team. They've hung around for a couple weeks now. I wouldn't count them out yet. I do think they're not going to be able to draft the things that they necessarily want, but because they're going to force Ladies of Terror to have to ban some key things like that Kerrigan, and potentially maybe a ban onto Daxx as well, that it might open up the side of Mur-der-locs to get a little bit more comfort picks. We might be able to see Fujin on her Lunara. We might be able to see Slice on one of her comfort picks for tanks instead of denying and taking the Mei. Who are we missing here?
Breakwood. But yeah, like I said, there's just a lot of heroes in these hero pools for these ladies that are just really good here. You know, the offlaners in particular, you know, Sonya, Zool, Malthael. I mean, just you got to deal with it. Double soak potential is here, so that will be something to keep an eye on here as well. The pressure that can be put into these other lanes while the rest of the teams are fighting over the John Cena camp.
I do have to say, if Ladies of Terror take this game, I think this is going to be the shortest GGs in the history.
We're gonna play some brawls. Well, actually, no. I guess Kai's gonna do some.
No, yeah, we're gonna raid over to Kai because she's doing ranked viewer games, and I know that there's been a lot of ladies from the GG's communities and also other streamers that are like, well, we count as viewers, right? We want to play with you for your birthday. All right, the readies are out here, so we are going to get going into game number 3 on Infernal Shrines. If you're just tuning in and not sure how we got here, game number 1 that was played on Brax's holdout, the win grabbed there by Ladies of Terror. Game number 2, Mur-der-locs brought us to Towers of Doom, and the win there went over to Ladies of Terror once again.
All right, and let's see how quickly we can get some of these bans out here. I mean, I know a lot of people like to take their time on the bans, but at the same time, if you're locking bans in, it gives the enemy team a lot of time, or I'm sorry, a lot less time to think about what they want to do and maybe force some picks quicker. But I'm with you. I definitely think we see a Kerrigan ban here.
I don't think there's a way, especially if any of these ladies watched the game last week, I don't think there's a way that Kerrigan gets through. I do think that they already have a ban hovered and they're just taking their time actually locking in the ban so that they can discuss what they're going to be playing and using the maximum amount of draft time possible to figure that all out.
I mean, unless if they do have first pick, so unless if they take the Kerrigan away, I don't know if Rockwell pulls Kerrigan or Thor
Ragnar? Yeah,
Ragnar, yeah.
I'm not sure. Rockwell's one of those players where she can very easily pick up any character, it seems like. So I wouldn't put it past her to pull out a Kerrigan. That definitely a possibility here. Interesting that they're sticking with that Asmo ban. I feel like Asmodan is so out of the meta right now that even if they did get it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to deal with. But they're going to continue to grab that and stick with that ban. We saw that in game number 1.
Yeah, and it could be one of those things like if you know like the enemy team is watching your stream. It's like I know in a tournament we actually played in together. We were doing that for the stream. We were just playing some weird stuff before the games, and we saw bans on it. In some of these, and there it is. There's the Kerrigan ban.
Yeah, I love doing that. Is if I'm going to be playing a series later that day, I'll go in and I'll play things that I don't like, things that I am high enough level on that I'd be like, okay, maybe we should ban it, but things that I would never actually play in a game. Just playing those mind games can be really fun, and then it gives you results too, because they end up throwing these bans out of things that they don't want to deal with. Especially if you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna play like, 2 or 3 games of Medivh, throw in a game of Zeratul, and they're all showing up as wins in your match history because it was just quick match.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we gotta ban that. All right, and the Brightwing first pick again here coming up in game 3. Again, it's been the mantra so far. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But the 2 counter picks coming out here for the side of Mur-der-locs.
I think we are going to see more priority on locking in a tank, or I would like to see more priority of locking in a tank by Ladies of Terror in their next 2 picks. Simply because Mur-der-locs choked the tank picks on Karu last game. They still left up that ETC, so luckily for her, she wasn't completely out of it. And I'm interested. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was saying Diablo. Yeah, they said they didn't lock in the Diablo. They opted for the Zul. Maybe not to see the Zul ban here. But Kairu. Okay, Salvaje gonna lock that in. She does see who she is facing up against, but trades are an option. We could see maintain Zul here.
We're 100% seeing an Orphea ban though, right?
I think so. That would make sense to me.
I think they maybe plan to potentially choke on tanks again, but as soon as Leo's locked in and you've already seen the Dirty Bathtub coming out and we saw the Entombs and how good they were in game number 1, there's no way they don't ban Orphea, right? Or maybe they take Orphea. They do have next pick.
My bathtub. But no, to your point there, yeah, it's just a gross combo. Any tank that Slice wants to take here, like they already have Cursed Bullet and the % base damage from Reorg here, so it could be a rough go.
I do have to say, like, big shout out to Rockwell. Her hero pool has grown a ton over the last few months, and I know that she's put a lot of work into getting outside of just those comfort picks for her. She hasn't even bothered trying to pick up Falstad this series. They haven't even banned it out on the side of Mur-der-locs. It's almost like they're trying to bait her into taking it for some reason, but she doesn't care.
Yeah, she's just playing a fantastic gray main. A lot of siege potential, great pick potential coming out there, especially with the Brightwing. So we can see the ETC coming out this time for Slice. So ETC switching sides here.
Anna checking in.
Anna's still getting picked up by Kai. I'm curious how they're gonna pair this. I'm concerned about a couple things. First of all, I mentioned this in the last game. Just the Poison Nova from Zul. Traxxas usually, I think, almost always. I don't think I've seen her go Skeletal Mages. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen her take that. So I'm concerned that they're going to be pretty clumped up and eat a ton of poison damage, and Brightwing's not going to be able to heal it up. However, is this going to be Eye of Horus, Anna? Or is she just going to... Are we going to be like, Falstad, take Hinterland's Blast and I'll nano you right before you use it.
So
or nano the Zul.
Yeah, so Breakwood has a pick here. Critical Gleaming, not her best map, but can got a lot of resets. Maybe on some of these here. So we'll see what she picks up. Maybe Jaina.
Okay.
But yeah, Chromie not a bad pick here as well.
So a little bit better of a target here to nano boost if she goes that ability, which I feel like she might be. The other thing though, I'm not sure what draft I'm favoring here. Because on one hand, there's quite a bit of melee over on the side of Ladies of Terror with the Grey Main Leoric and the Mei. But Zul just goes W build and sits on them in autos and self-sustains through the entire fight. I was concerned that Mur-der-locs are a little bit squishy, not having a true beefy bruiser for their offlaner. But the fact that their offlaner can do that kind of negates it, so to say, in a little bit of a way, but not as much peel frontline. So I don't know. What are you thinking, Daxx? Who do you think won this one on draft?
Oh my goodness, it's hard to say because, like I said, Zul is gonna go blue build. You know, but what's gonna stop him from not a whole lot of hard CC outside of Brightwing's polymorph. So if left unchecked, I mean, Traxxas is gonna do a bunch of damage, but to counter that, I mean, they have a lot of potential to get back onto that Chromie, where that's what Chromies want to do, is just be able to poke from safety on these points.
Let's introduce these teams, and then I have another point to bring up that the Bex just mentioned in chat as well. But on the left-hand side, we have Ladies of Terror with Karu on the Mei, Jen playing the Brightwing, Rockwell on Greymane, Salvaje on the Leoric, and Thor Ragnar on the Mephisto.
Alrighty, and the reverse sweep starts now for the Mur-der-locs. We got Trax X on Zul, Kyberries on Ana, Fujin on the Falstad Slice on ETC, and Breakwood on the Chromie.
The Bex mentioned in chat, which I was aware of but didn't think of until she mentioned it, was that Chromie can time loop Mephisto when he goes in with his Shade of Mephisto, which can really leave him out of position and vulnerable. However, Chromies haven't as frequently been picking up time loop because you have that Gladiator's medallion now. I think you can still definitely get value with it. You just need to be aware of who's used their medallion and who hasn't, and that's just something that you got to keep track of. As soon as UFC go down, you have 5 minutes where you can try and loop them and get value off of it.
Yeah, and then come level 10, the Ladies of Terror are going to have Durance of Hate and Tomb combo with a Greymane, and just Mephisto being able to blink in and just get a ton of AoE damage. And then, fortunately, though, they're all grouped up for the Ana grenade and the heal. So Kyberries is going to have her hands full come late game.
All right, Siege Camp being made short work of over on the side of Ladies of Terror. Already have capped that, and they're making the rotation down now to catch the Siege Camp in the bottom lane. I like this play because if they contest mid, oh, never mind. Zul's going to catch the soak mid for them, so they can go ahead and contest down in this bottom lane over this camp. Slice on that point, ready to knock them off. Power slides through the entire team. Thor Ragnar off to the side, avoiding that though. The health bar is looking quite low, and look at this time trap coming out here. Can they manage to get the picks though to secure this camp? This is going to be first blood going over to the side of Ladies of Terror. No counter picks yet, but the Chromie damage is real. But not real enough, apparently. 3 members down on the side of Mur-der-locs. Health bars looking pretty low here, but they all managed to survive. Ladies of Terror managing to grab that camp in the bottom lane.
Just Jen landing just so many Qs there to get that extra burst healing coming out from Brightwing on top of her normal, just her, I don't want to say fart healing, but essentially that's what it is to be.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one before.
But yeah, just fantastic job. Great trade there. It was, a lot of health bars were low there, and that could have went either way.
Slice rotating right through the mid there. Did get eyes on Rockwell, but no team around to really follow up. She went in for the power slide, but she's still on the flank there in the back line. Karu sliding in. Power slide going on to Rockwell. We do have Mei popping her trait there. But not too much else happening down here. That tower, eyes are set on that. They want to open that up a little bit more. But those bruiser camps are usually something teams should be looking to grab right now. Chromie is rotating up and is hanging around there, but she's not going to be able to do that by herself. Neither team getting that camp out before objective, which is pretty unusual on this map.
Yeah, we were seeing a little bit of it yesterday where, the teams were just kind of focused on, getting these extra camps of a team fight breaks out here or there and just kind of, we can go get it, but if not, you're going to miss out on the rotation and some of these skeletal warriors here. But this first one is going to be a Frozen Punisher, which is, the most desired of the John Cena's. But Salvaje stepping up here, getting the fist out onto Traxxas, that's going to be able to clear this wave down here. The blink going to come out onto Salvaje there to top her off, so she's going to re-engage on the team fight here.
Team's a little bit split up though. So you need to be a bit careful that they just don't collapse on one side. It is Rockwell that seems to be the focus now for the side of Mur-der-locs. But Fujin is more eyeing Thor Ragnar on the Mephisto. So damage split between the members here, and no one's falling just quite yet. Keep in mind though that Chromie damage can really just come out of nowhere. Rockwell is going in for the kill onto Falstad. She does find it. Traxxas getting a little bit caught here by Salvaje. She's going to pop that Bone Prison here. That's not too much trouble for Leoric. And right now it is looking like this first objective is going to go over to the side of Ladies of Terror. Now I'm terrified that I'm not going to be able to draft a team to beat them, to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to come out so strong. I mean, I knew they were good, but I was expecting Mur-der-locs to take a game or two along the way.
Hey, this one ain't over yet. Sevens are online here. They're getting some poke out onto this Frozen Punisher here. But I will say the siege damage, or I'm sorry, the clear, not the greatest here coming out from Mur-der-locs though. So, I mean, a little bit better on the side with the gray main.
Yeah, no, you're right. They don't really have a lot to shred this Immortal down when it does start to push here. We are going to see Salvaje getting the pick onto Daxx in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rockwell and Fujin facing off here, catching Soak. She is going in. Morgan form there, trying to get a pick. Chunks the health bar a little bit. The interesting thing about this matchup is I'm sure Rockwell knows what she can and can't pull off. She's very, very, very familiar with Falstad. And one of the best things is if you play a hero, you also know how to play against them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was Season's Markman picked up there, so we are getting the auto attack build Falstad here.
Yeah, the build coming out is a little bit weird from Fujin. Typically, Secret Weapon is not the pick on level 7 unless you're going full Q build Falstad. And even the Season Marksman, I see it taken sometimes, but more often see something like a Bribe W auto attack hybrid type build coming out from Falstad players. Level 10s are online now for the side of Ladies of Terror. We do have Go for the Throat being picked up by Greymane. It is going to be Avalanche from the Mei, Entomb from Leoric, Blink Heal from the Brightwing, Endurance of Hate from the Mephisto. And there goes the Endurance. Does manage to catch that Chromie, but keep in mind they're tanking tower shots here, and Jen is the one that's tanking him for now. Does look like Rockwell taking the aggro from the tower over there for the moment. It's going to save Jen's life. Bone Prison coming out onto Karu. She is able to pop her trait here. And here comes the phase shift from Brightwing to heal her back up. Ladies of Terror looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Those sound resets on Go for the Throat give me goosebumps. I love that sound. I had a conversation with a really good Greymane player the other day because they were watching one of the games I was playing, and I took Go for the Throat kind of into a similar comp here, and then they were saying that they usually go Curse Bullet 100% of the time. I said I do as well, but in certain comps where like ETC has a lower health pool, Zul is not the the beefiest bruiser. A lot of his bruisering comes from his self-sustain on his auto attacks, but you can kind of get a lot of value out of those resets.
Need to be a bit careful here. There is a flank coming out here. Caro dropping that Blizzard, but the Gust coming out, and that's going to peel for the teammates here. And they're going to manage to live here. Why don't you tell us about those level 10s picked over on the side of Mur-der-locs, because we haven't covered those yet.
Sure, absolutely. So we do have that Poison Nova, good call for you. Looking to get all that damage in there and give Brightwing a hard time. Nano Boost, getting picked up. The Mighty Gust, we did just see there. Mosh Pit and Slowing Sands.
Fujin getting caught here by Salvaje. She is checking that push to see who's around. They do kill that Time Trap. Power Slide going out onto Mei and Mephisto. It is Slowing Sands here, so we're not going to see that Temporal loop used on Mephisto this time, which is a good counter to a Mephisto player. Teams are a little bit split here. We have Daxx and Breakwood up in the top lane, and Salvaje is just really pressuring the Ana and Falstad. Meanwhile, Slice and Mephisto are battling it out in the bottom lane, so a lot happening in this team fight. Fujin does barrel roll in there to try and get a pick here. Now she's kind of stuck, no way to disengage. She does use that Gust. I mean, I guess I lied. She has one way to disengage here. And there we see the Mosh coming out now. Immediately canceled by the Polymorph. Beautiful play by the Brightwing here, and they are going in trying to find more kills here, but it's not going to work out. Poison Nova coming out. Karu looking like her health bar could use a little bit of help here, and Salvaje is stuck in the back line, so this is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Mur-der-locs.
Yeah, that was a team fight. They did need 2-for-1 trade there. Not 13's not online for Ladies of Terror here, and it looks like this Punisher will go over to them.
Yeah, that entire objective phase, it just felt like everyone was all over the place and they didn't know who they should be on and who to focus or where they should be.
Yeah, the target priority there was a little off. I mean, Savaje was doing her best, like I said, just trying to zone off the heal, and all that other stuff. And then we had, the tank and the Mephisto dueling it out down here in the bottom part of that lane there. So, but well played by Mur-der-locs, and this could be the start of the reverse sweep.
It does look like Kara's going to go ahead and check this camp out, and they are trying to take that here. Level 13's online for the side of Ladies of Terror, but that time trap, whoo, what a good time trap. Kara was going to slide into that camp, but Breakaway was like, nuh-uh, not today, this is our camp.
All right, and we did see Savaje getting some work done on that top wall there, all but about a quarter of that tower, though. Going to be able to catch up to that double soak here, which looks like she's going to invade here. They want the invade. The snowball's going to come out from the Mei. Kairu is going to be able, just in the nick of time, to cap that cryo freeze, and the invade is successful. But down goes Mei. We're going to hear those resets coming out from the gray main there.
Yeah, Chromie popping her stasis here, so this is going to be a 4-for-1 trade now. But look at Daxx doing what Daxx does, but this time I don't think she's getting away with it as much as we've seen in the past. She's off just continuing to soak steel camps. But Salvaje is just always back in time to clear it up and really just not let her get away with that pressure.
Yeah, I like the pickup on the bottom camp here. Bottom fort is going to get a lot of pressure, but I would like to see a little bit of push here with this mid camp a little bit, just because that is where the next objective will be. But enough pressure there is, we will. Is this Fuji's going to be able to stop this? Let's say. If not, we will see 2 forts down here.
Still no Punisher spawning in yet in the top lanes. I don't know. Maybe
it's a bug now. Yeah.
Just coincidentally, the game Daxx and I casted last night, the Punisher didn't go to the top lane. It was like mid-bottom.
Yeah, and we will have a Mortar Punisher this time. 16's just online here. They're going to get in position to maybe catch the team in rotation onto this Bruiser camp. They all are showing in the bot lane, doing the same thing. Slice trying to catch rotations there, but little does she know that they are up stealing their Bruiser camp.
Level 16's online now for the side of Ladies of Terror. Mur-der-locs going to be able to cap that fort in the bottom, but they are overextended a little bit, need to go on the retreat here. Looks like Ladies of Terror have no interest in trying to rotate down for the picks here. Maybe looking to try and open up this top lane a little bit more. If you can get those periodic katas going in these other lanes, it means that there's going to be a lot of lane pressure for the side of Mur-der-locs to deal with after objective is done being fought over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought we were going to maybe see a team fight there, being up the talent advantage for Ladies of Terror, but not wanting to throw here. They have their sights set on the 3-0.
Oh no, Fujin! She's gonna get caught in the Durns of Hate after she barrel rolls out of there into the Entomb. The Blizzard coming out from Mei, catching her as well. Members looking quite low. They get that pick onto Zool, but the rest of them managing to survive here. That was a little bit scary. I was expecting a few more people to go down in that fight, but they managed to stay alive. Phase Shift gonna heal up Leoric, and they're ready to go. Objective spawning in, or started, I should say, over on the side of Ladies of Terror.
All right, and they'll probably just clean out lanes here a little bit, kind of try and get some lanes pushed out. Slice is going to rejoin the team here. The keep is still there. They do have 16s online here. They can live to fight another day. Maybe rotate down here to steal the Cosmic camp. It looks like Thor Ragnar is going to just peek at it, make sure that no funky stuff is going on.
Salvaje breathing all the way top. I think she was hoping to try and get an Entomb on an unsuspecting Chromie there. And not quite enough distance close. Chromie was already mounted and well on her way out of there. This is another Frozen Punisher here. Or sorry, it's a Mortar Punisher. They're going to grab the Siege Camp over on the side of Mur-der-locs. Well, Punisher starts to push up on this mid fort.
I'm waiting for the Entomb over the wall, but not able to get up to it in time on Savaje, though. But the Punisher is about half health, not much going to get down here. They will get the keep wall, and then see if maybe they'll look for a pick with the Entomb.
There it is, Entomb going out onto Daxx here, so she is stuck in there, but she's going to send out her Poison Over. That's connecting onto quite a few members, and now there's a Mosh in the back line, interrupted by the Avalanche from Karo, but she's taking tower shots. She is going to go down in Brightwing. Her health bar in the negative here, poison damage, but she does manage to get a heal off and stay alive. In the meantime, they get the counter pick onto Chromie. does look like they still want this keep potentially. They need to be careful though. Jen is very, very low here, and it's dangerous for her to step up to try and get blink heals off because it'll cost her life. Rockwell on the retreat here. Slice going in with the power slide. She's able to avoid that, and the health bars just getting chunked. The chase is on for the members here. Thor Ragnar does have Durance up in about 6 seconds here. If they can try and make the turn on the team here. She does manage to pop it. 3 members caught in it. Greymane going in to try and get some picks here. She gets that pick onto the Falstad. Now Iron tracks it. Can they get one more auto off for that pick? They do manage to connect a Q from the Mephisto to get that second kill there. And now Brightwing has her phase shift back up and available to heal this team up. I think this is a time to leave now, though.
Yeah, no more tower shots underneath this. We saw about 2 team fights underneath this, and a mosh pit underneath this keep, about half health. But holy smokes, just these 2 teams just out for blood, having the grandest of times, and well on their way to 20 as Ladies of Terror as they clean this up and probably get some more macro pressure.
Yeah, if I'm on the side of Ladies of Terror, I don't even want to try to fight anymore. I don't want to show up anywhere on the map where I give Mur-der-locs a chance to even take a fight against us. We're just eyeing that level 20. Being patient, waiting to grab that, and then we can fight all we want till our heart's content.
Yeah, and bless RN Jesus, we will finally see a a Frozen Punisher here up in the top lane after the last 2 games. So maybe the game isn't bugged; it's just some true RNG there.
So it's good. Entomb coming out from Leoric there. See, if they had waited for level 20, ETC dies there every time. He would have been silenced in an Entomb, wouldn't have been able to power slide through there. They have enough burst damage from the Greymane. He dies there every time. They do have level 20 now. They are looking to invade here. A couple ults missed there. Durance goes out, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. That Entomb's still down from the ETC here. Now, I will say, going forward, like, the good thing for Mur-der-locs is they still have a 4 and a fountain in the top. Fujin looking like she might be in a bit of trouble. Power slide coming out from ETC to peel for her. She is going to use that Gust push back the members of Ladies of Terror. Now, I was going to say, they do have a 4 and a fountain in the top lane for next objective to fall back to. But over on the side of Ladies of Terror, they've cleared out that mid fort, they've cleared out that bottom fort. So those periodic katas spawning in those lanes are definitely something that's going to be threatening keeps over on the side of Mur-der-locs if left unattended to.
Yeah, I'm wondering here if we might see the back door. I don't know if it's a little bit risky, but I do have the Greymane. I don't know. It'll be a little tough there because that mid keep is down low. But at the same time, 20s aren't online here for Mur-der-locs. But Zul has enough wave clear and self-sustain that they can kind of leave him here. And
I'm thinking we're going to see Mur-der-locs go for a keep in the bottom and give up objective because they don't want to fight down that talent here, but at least find value somewhere else on the map. This next Punisher has to make it through a fort and a keep before it even gets to core, so chances are with level 20 they're going to be able to defend it anyway, and they might even end up at the end of this, because if they don't manage to secure a keep over on the side of Ladies of Terror, then it was a really excellent trade. We do have some members backing over on the side of Ladies. Oh, and there's the Silence Entomb coming out from Leoric, catching the ETC and Anna. Unfortunately for them, though, Gus being popped there, saving the members of Mur-der-locs.
So, yep, getting that keep wall, not unfortunately not what they were hoping for there, but I do like it. Now there is the camp that they did cap right before the objective did get the fort there, so we will see the full health Frozen Punisher start its barrage onto this keep while the leap's going to come out from the stun Kai berries in front of the wall. She's going to be able to sneak out in before Kai rotates up here.
I do like that she stepped up there and had the Punisher jump on that side of the wall for a minute there just to try and create a little bit more space before it's over. Fujin, though, getting caught out, she is going to go down. Although it was a risky play if they were faster on the rotation there. I don't know. Frozen Punish there, though. How unlucky. This keep disabled for a moment. Here is the Mosh coming out, but the Punisher helping out Slice here that does interrupt. And it is shutting down that keep once again. Poison Nova out. It does look like the members of Ladies of Terror are quite chunked from that Poison Nova. Health bar is looking a little low, but Brightwing doing everything she can there to get everyone healed up. No core call coming out just yet. Swift in chat saying John Cena MVP interrupting the Mosh.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Unfortunately, that timing there, by slice there on that mosh pit. But yeah, 3-man mosh, that could have been way more devastating for the Ladies of Terror.
We do have death metal picked up by ETC, so if she does fall, that death mosh is going to be there, and you can't interrupt that one. That one's going to be 4 seconds of death mosh going off in your face. Now, Falstad, you know, usually with Gust, you see them upgrade to the Mighty Gust. It's so powerful. If you can gust a team into a wall, you're basically disabling them for quite a while. But instead, we're going to see her grabbing the Nexus Frenzy, which increases the attack speed. I think there's a lot more value to be found with a Gust, though. Like, say you are going to invade this bottom camp. You gust them all just straight into this little choke point in the bottom where the camp is, and they can't really get out of that, and it's just a beautiful area for Chromie to dump all of her abilities onto, for Zool to walk into and just slice them all up,
Yeah,
and for follow-up mosh.
So Savaje is still stealth here, looking for that sneaky Entomb there, but she's gonna rotate mid to push this out a little bit, and Ping's coming out for the last keep. Or not the last keep here, but the middle keep.
And they do have that siege camp crashing here. Might be, I think the keep's gonna stay alive now. They knocked back the Katas and the minions here, so you're gonna save it for now, but its health quite low. It's not gonna take much for a Greymane to come in and finish that off anytime you'd like to. I'm waiting for the side of Ladies of Terror just to pull like a really cheese, like we're just gonna stand in the middle of the map stealth and hope you walk through here.
Mm-hmm.
Salvaje going in, landing that Entomb onto the Falstad here. He is stuck in there for the moment being. Endurance coming out, connecting onto him as well. Anna doing all she can to keep him alive, and for now it is working. Salvaje getting quite low. We're going to see her fall instead. And we have an avalanche coming out from the Mei onto the Falstad and ETC here. Fujin going right back in though, looking to get that pick onto Karu. Power slide coming out from Slice, but Karu unstoppable for that moment. Is going to be able to escape here. Breakwood needs to be a bit careful. Her health bar looking quite low, and Greymane is looking ready to jump in there and try and get some picks if she can. Woo!
Yeah, Breakwood getting awfully low there, but you know, if anyone was going to go down there, it's got to be Savaje. She can cheat death. We're going to see the back coming out from Zool because this Bruiser Camp and two. Oh, and we're going to see Fujin go down. We're going to see a Bruiser Camp and two. The pressure is on there. The Carl may be going on there. We're going to get a reset onto Kai Bears there. Kairu is still a little bit low, but we're going to see the Blink Tail coming out onto her as well. Rockwell has her sights set on Slice. We're going to go for the throw. We're going to be able to chunk her down a little.
Keep in mind, this is Death Mosh, so she might just be purposely trying to die here. There's the Mosh coming out, catches 3 members, but Salvaje zoning out the members of Mur-der-locs, so nothing they could do with that. Death Mosh is up. And only caught 1 member off of it. Unfortunately, 3 members down on the side of Mur-der-locs. Score call is on, and looks like game number 3 is going to be going over to Ladies of Terror with a 3-0 sweep. That's incredible because, like we said, Mur-der-locs, such a strong team, has been really coming out on top the last couple of weeks. Really surprised they didn't take a game off of Ladies of Terror tonight.
Man, just to be in comms right now with these ladies, I know we'll get to chat with them here after this game, but what a series here. Both these teams are very back and forth. You know, neither one of them really taking their foot off the pedal, but unfortunately, you know, the reigning champs have been taken down.
Yeah. I mean, now the next challenge is on for me is how do I draft a team to go against Ladies of Terror when they 3-0 Mur-der-locs? Is this going to be Clever Girls coming back out of retirement in a few weeks here?
I don't know. I would love to see it. I saw a little bit calls for it in the chat. They're a great way to end the year, perhaps here in the series. But yeah, looking at this, just, you know, Rockwell, I know we talked about her hero pill at the beginning of this draft, but just doing an amazing job out on this Greymane, just getting so much pressure, so much damage coming out there, and really making an impact here.
Yeah, I don't have much to say here. It was a very clean game over on the side of Ladies of Terror. Rockwell, like, look at this, 10-1, just like dominating on the board. Top, I mean, for her team, top siege damage, top hero damage. Yeah, I mean, I think they had the right idea. They stopped focusing so much on the Traxic stuff and just focused on, banning out some things that are comfort picks for some other players and not so much denying and more adapting to what Traxic is bringing to these games. So they came at it a different way from the previous teams, and it really worked out for them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's any faith I have in a matchmaker, Jazz, it's you. I'm sure you'll come up with something crazy here next week that I'm looking forward to see what is brought here against the Ladies of Terror.
Luminaire in chat saying Mur-der-locs is a very strong team, so Jazzy has accidentally created a new monster in Ladies of Terror. Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's go ahead and we'll jump in and talk with these ladies here about these games, and we'll start over with Mur-der-locs, and then we'll end it with the winners of tonight. And then after we're done that, we're gonna rate over Kai because it is her birthday. So stick around at least to hear these shout outs and where you can find these ladies, because a lot of them are streamers themselves, or participate in things like NGS, so you can watch their casted games all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, let me update the score really quick, and then we'll jump into the Discord. I think you should have access, but if not, there's a channel called Chitter Chatter under Here's the Storm, and I'll pull you up.
Okay.
All right. All right, Daxx is going to disappear for just a moment. All right, ladies. GG's, well played tonight. A little disappointing to see you guys go down after a couple weeks of hanging around, though, I do have to admit. Let's talk about a little bit about just your drafting and what you guys were expecting out of Ladies of Terror tonight.
Poor Fuji, permabans every game. Feels bad.
It definitely felt like they had a different strategy to other teams we've been seeing the last couple weeks face off against you. Most teams have been putting a lot of emphasis on banning out Traxxix's picks. And this week they kind of ignored that and just, dealt with it instead. Were you expecting that to come through in their drafts?
The Murky? Yeah, we were expecting it since they told us that they won't ban it on Twitter. So
I did see you guys kind of having a little bit of discussions here or there, but you never know if it's going to be true. And especially since we started out the series on Braxis, I said to Daxx, I'm like, you watch, they're going to be like, yeah, we're not going to ban your Murky, but we're also only going to 2-lane maps where he's not as effective. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Daxx, do you have some questions you want to throw out here? Daxx?
Daxx is dead.
No, I am not dead. I'm in shock. I'm. But it was an amazing series. The back and forths were there. I don't know. I'm in awe. I'm speechless, which never happens in my entire life.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit concerned for GG's going forward, because if a team beat Mur-der-locs 3-0, how are we ever going to draft a team to beat Ladies of Terror? We're saying, I feel like in a couple of weeks we might be seeing Clever Girls coming out of retirement potentially, which means a few of you will be back. Let's talk about your bands. We saw a lot of Asmodan bands coming out tonight. What was that about?
I saw in their history that they were practicing it, so I didn't want to deal with the Asmodan cheese.
No, fair enough.
Breakwood actually outspied me. I was super surprised.
Yeah, well, they are all in my friend list, and I just saw that they were practicing, so I just looked at the history,
Yeah, they were coming into this taking it pretty seriously. I know that they were trying to get some practices done before this week. And like your team, there's a few of them that have played together on NGS teams. So not necessarily super fresh team playing against you guys.
Yeah, and they were pretty high rank also overall.
Yeah.
You stacked the team against us.
I mean, you guys are pretty comparable, though. You got yourself as a Masters player, and Traxxix is doing well, and you have Kai, who, even though her rank might not be Diamond, definitely feels like should be. I don't know what rank she's sitting at right now, and also, happy birthday, Kai.
Exposed that I fell in rank. Thank you.
Oh, Birthday. Oof.
Yes, thank you.
But healing's one of those things. It's really dependent on your team if you're healing and solo queuing in ranked. So I don't really blame you there. But definitely feels like Diamond plays at least at a minimum coming out from you the majority of the night. Even people in chat were saying compliments to your healing and your saves. Just a second here, we do have Bankai rating, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone to the stream. We're just wrapping up. We did have Ladies of Terror go 3-0 into Mur-der-locs tonight, but we are interviewing Mur-der-locs and giving them an opportunity to just chat about their evening and some shout outs over here. So welcome everyone. The Falstad pick in that last match, was that a denial to Rockwell, or did you guys kind of figure that she's not? I noticed she wasn't bothering to even try to get it tonight, it looked like.
Well, you can go, Fujin. It's your pick.
I don't know that it's specifically a denial to Rockwell. Falstad is one of my top 4 heroes, and the way the map works, we kind of felt that being able to move around the map very, very quickly might come in handy, especially when you're having to do some rotations. And also, I just, people kept giving me a hard time for only playing Lunara, so I was like, well, I'll play 3 different heroes tonight and show everyone. And apparently I showed everyone that I'm better at Lunara than all the other heroes.
Yeah, Ladies of Terror being a little bit of jerks there, banning out your Lunara every single round. So forcing you to have to bring some other things out tonight in these matches. Rockwell's in chat saying, why bother? What's the point? I'm not, she's gotten over trying to play Falstad and GG's though. She does say she's happy to chit chat with you about Falstad in the lobby before the game. Daxx, do you have any more questions you want to throw out here before we go ahead on to these shoutouts? I know Kai has some plans ahead of her here for her birthday stream. So we'll be sending everyone over to your stream after the channel to celebrate there.
No questions out of me. I don't want to hold these lovely up, but just well played. You put on a show for the chat. It doesn't feel, I'm sure it doesn't feel that great, but the team fights were there, and unfortunately it didn't happen your way tonight.
No, but it was a pleasure having you guys on the last 3 weeks. I really appreciate you coming out to participate, and you played some fantastic games all 3 weeks, so well played. Let's go ahead with those shoutouts. We'll start down at the bottom with Daxx. I know you started streaming, so where can people find you? Oh, is she AFK?
I keep talking without pushing the dang button.
Oh.
Yes, I did start streaming. You can find me at It's a Daxx. I also made I think I just said I made a Twitter. I'm having a brain fart. So you can find me on Twitter at It's a Daxx. You can find me on Twitch at It's a Daxx. You can find me in the Nexus as Daxx, and you can find me in Azeroth as Daxx. So come watch me play. I play offlane. I like to play Murky. Very annoying. I also like to play Mind Build Abathur. Nothing more exciting than that. So yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's move on up to the birthday girl, Kai Berries. Where can people find you?
Hello, my name's Kai Berries, and you can find me everywhere on the internet at Kai Berries. I play mostly HOTS, and I heal, and I just want to shout out Salvaje. I've always wanted to be spanked by you so thoroughly, so thank you for that. The dream come true.
Now, what's your plans for the rest of the evening? I know you have some things going down over on your channel.
It's my birthday, and so chat has always told me how much better they are at the video game and that they could carry me, so we're giving them that option. And we're doing viewer games in ranked, not something I have ever done, nor something that I would ever encourage anyone to do, but for one night only.
All right, well, you can go check that out after. We're going to be rating Kai and her birthday shenanigans. Maybe try to get in some games. I'm sure there's going to be a long queue to get in on those viewer games. Fujin, what are you up to these days? Where can people find you?
Well, like Kai, I exist basically everywhere under Fujin Akari, one word. In the Nexus, I'm just Fusion. That Fusion, not just Fusion. That would be weird. And other than that, I do stream a little bit. I do a little bit of casting for all the various amateur tournaments that are out there. Have not done GGS yet, but I plan to in the pseudo-near future, although I guess that's kind of your choice. And other than that, play a lot of random stuff, and I exist.
Yeah, big shout out to Fujin, because yesterday I was having internet issues and I was casting an NGS heroic semifinals, and my stream was just literally crashing every few seconds. So she jumped in very, very last minute and streamed to my channel and OBS so that me and Daxx could continue to cast. So we really, really appreciate that. Go give her a follow over at Fujin Akari. Now we have Breakwood.
Yeah, we have me. So hi, I'm Breakwood. I'm streaming on Twitch as Breakwood with 2 zeros. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram on the same name. Yeah, that's about it.
Now, I know some people in chat and the community have been wondering what's been going on with 30K, so do you want to just take a second to explain what's happening there?
Yeah, well, I'm no longer part of 30K. Because they picked Fury, and that's totally a good reason. I mean, Fury was the totally first pick of CCL, and he got dropped by Chili Mountain. And since 30K was the 7th team to in the placement, I don't know what to say that.
Yeah.
Well, in the 7th team, they had the first choice to pick him or not, and they chose to pick it, and it's totally fine. So I got released by 30K, but I will be on 30K Black. That is a new team. It's an academy team, so I will actually be able to play more. So that's perfect, and it will be pretty high level since Udal will be playing with me as an assassin, and our healer. We are still looking for a bruiser and a tank. But yeah, we're getting there, and we will play against the Chili Mountain Academy team and Wild Academy team. Udal will probably do his own tournament for that. So yeah, we still figure it out, but we will be streaming against 30K too to warm them up. So yeah, I will improve myself way more by that, so I'm pretty happy about that change, actually.
Yeah, I know a lot of us were disappointed to see you drop from 30K, but this is going to be giving Breakwood the opportunity to play a lot more, which means she's going to be able to grow a lot more as a player, and set her up in a better position to actually be on a CCL team, hopefully, in the future. So we wish you the best there. It doesn't matter where you go. I'm sure the entire community is behind you and ready to cheer you on. Make sure you go follow Breakwood on her channel. She has been streaming a lot more frequently these days. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I know it looks like Slice had to dip out, so we'll do a shout out for Slice in the channel. You can go follow her as well. But to those of you that stuck around, we do appreciate the showing up tonight and the games tonight, and I wish you the best of luck and hope to see you back on GG's in the future.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks for doing this and
Good night.
casting, as
Yeah,
always.
no problem.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And
All right.
Oh, he is. He is.
Congrats on the win, ladies. Whew, it's hot in here.
hey,
Arr. Jackie, do the tremble before me.
What?
Jackie,
do tremble before me.
Do it.
Tremble before me.
No, she's sick at
it. That's kind of fitting because Daxx did accidentally call you guys a Lord of Terror a couple times tonight.
Wow.
No, great showing tonight. I was not expecting Mur-der-locs to be 3-0'd. I was expecting you guys to get some games at least on them and it to be an exciting series, but I wasn't expecting a clean sweep at all. But you guys came out of the gates swinging tonight. Let's talk a little bit about your bans here. Past teams have really focused on banning out Daxx and what she had to bring to the table. So why did you decide to switch it up?
I think that there's a couple of reasons. We know that Fujin's strongest one was Lunara, and then like when you're trying to ban out, you can't ban out a Breakwood or anything. Like the hero pool is too large, right? So if you unfortunately go for the people with smaller hero pools, you kind of like hinder the team a little bit more. Still love you, Fujin, but you get practice on other heroes. And then number two, I think that like going against Azul and a Murky, like Sabahe has practiced against her her track 6 now too, but also the team fights weakened a lot when you like have a Azul in the team. So as long as you watch the Poison Nova, your team fight's typically stronger. So I think that we were like, okay, no, we feel confident handling the macro against the Murky and the Azul, so let's just go for team fight and yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I studied up against Jackson. I studied up. I said I'm gonna have to deal with her round 2, baby.
Yeah, I really liked your strategy of just letting her grab what she needed and force these team fights in your favor. And Salvaje, you were doing an amazing job answering anything that she was trying to pull off shenanigans wise, doing her split soaking, pushing, stealing camps. You were there to kind of clear up whatever was going on there as well. No, I think you guys going and forcing it to be map picks instead of priority over first picks was a really interesting strategy that paid off well for your team as well. Let's
even though Rockwell hated our map choice.
Was seriously thinking of defecting and being a 6th member on the other team.
Yeah, Braxis is not a fan favorite, that's for sure. But it is effective if you're trying to deny her doing Azul and Murky things, so I think it was a good choice. Let's talk a little bit about their draft for a second. Asmodan, I said this to them. What's with the Asmodan bans? Do you guys actually have any plans on playing Asmodan tonight?
Yes!
No. So the funny thing is that I used to be an Asmo, Nazeebo, Tyrande main way back in the day before they reworked all of them, basically. So, yes, we practiced a little bit of Asmodan today, and his laser build is fun, and that was kind of our back pocket.
Yeah, then they were not going to have any of that. They said they didn't want to deal with it, so they were just banning it out because they saw that somebody had played it over on your team.
Yeah, we did it like right before the matches, so we were like, they were watching our stream. We actually checked who was in our chat to make sure they weren't spying on us. But then they just checked our match history, so what can you do?
No, these ladies start to take these GG's games very seriously. There's lots of scouting that can occur on both sides. Can we talk a little bit about Rockwell's picks tonight? No false ad coming out of the gates, and we're seeing a little bit more of an expanded hero pool coming from you now, which is really exciting. Game number 1 on the Tychus, I believe, and then we saw you on the Grey Main for game 2 and 3. All 3 games, you're a very, very strong player and very dominant in these matches. So let's just talk about when you've been working on these heroes, where they came from, why these ones.
You know, I've just been working on them in Storm League, sometimes unranked. Every so often I do what I just call a get night, where I just stream myself in unranked, other people can join in, and I'm doing it purely to just play heroes that I'm not good with, that I don't understand, to get better at them with, to just expand my hero pool and be a better all-around player.
And are you focusing on meta heroes? Because that's the vibe I'm getting from what you've picked tonight.
Am I? Are they meta?
They're pretty meta, yeah.
Are they?
Great Daddy and Tychus? Hello? Of course they're meta, baby.
I don't know if you're joking or not, but yeah.
I am totally joking. I don't know who the frick is meta. I just know. I just like Puppy Man and Squirt Boy.
All right, there we have it. We had Jennifer. You managed to get Brightwing all 3 games today. How happy were you about that? I know that Brightwing is one of your best and go-to healers.
Seriously, I love playing him. So for me, it was very funny to play him like all the 3 games.
I'm a big fan of Brightwing right now. I've been rocking her a lot in Storm League this season to just get I haven't played a lot this season, but Brightwing definitely up there on my most played. Daxx, you have some questions you want to throw out here? I feel like I'm hogging the talking time.
No, not at all. But yeah, I just want to coming into game number 1. I just want to know what the difference was, and maybe in the comms and the confidence level. Coming into game 1, taking Braxis from them, then going into game 2, their map pick, Towers of Doom, progressing through that one, and then game 3, what was it like as you guys were chunking down that core and to get the 3-0?
Can I say for game 1? So
go for it, dude. You hard carried game 1. I'm not even joking. You have to find something else to play besides Leoric and definitely Greymane for Rockwell as well, because you guys are going to have to find some different heroes. I expect those to be banned the rest of the way.
Yeah, so game one, it's mostly a Kairu and I choice because we're just such brawlers. We love to fight and we love to have our 1v1s. So I learned how to 1v1 Leoric into Sonya through just sitting with the 1v1 in customs with our NGS team. So immediately I was like, okay, last time we played them, they banned all the other solos, the good solos, and then picked Sonya because that was the only thing I played at the time. And so I learned Leoric, and that's kind of what we were going into that. And we knew we were going to be able to keep top even if they rotated someone up. Awesome. They rotated someone up. Kairu and the rest of them. Kairu, Rockwell with the Tychus, and then Jackie on the Orphea just could dominate 4v3 because they had to rotate one up top to alleviate Sonya.
And there was one team fight in particular where Jackie just popped off and I think got 4 of the 5 kills. You just saw Orphea just like ping, ping, ping on the side of the board there. So that was really impressive as well. And I think it definitely set up Mur-der-locs is how they had to draft the rest of the time, because as soon as you see Leo or Orphea locked in, you know you're going to have to ban the other, so you can't get off that Entomb Eternal Feast combo.
Oh, that's why they banned the Orphea.
Yeah.
That's
why we didn't
I didn't even put it together. I was like, yeah, random.
After I queued her like 8 times in a row and just chased her into her base at that one team fight.
Yeah, no, it was really well played.
That makes so much sense now.
But no, when we were in that draft and we saw the Leoric picked up and there's still another ban phase, I'm like, they have to ban Orphea. Like, it's just like, it's so just projected in their draft that
We
if they
thinking of picking her, like she wasn't even on our
Yeah, we only picked Leoric that early because they picked Zool so early. So I'm like, okay, I know I can handle Zool, so I'm gonna just pick Leoric and we can flex damage or tank.
I really wanted to be able to counter her tank, so we're like, oh, let's just pick Leoric then. They already picked solo.
It was pretty funny. We were actually going to run Rockwell on Mephisto and me on Raynor that first game, and then just last second we're just like, yeah, Tychus and Orphea.
Yeah, no, last second I was like, I don't know, it's like default in my mind. It's like, well, there's a Diablo there. Can I just Tychus into him?
Yes.
And it honestly, I felt bad a lot of fights because, yeah, the rest of my team really pulled out work because my only focus was Diablo, and Diablo's only focus had to be me because if Slice didn't focus me, she didn't do anything to fight. I felt bad denying her so hard the whole game.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the go-to picks when a Diablo is locked in, is just to counter it with the Tychus, because you can just kind of sit there and chunk him down, and then you're left with no disengage on him if he queued into you guys. So I think you guys drafted amazing in game number 1 with that early Diablo pickup, because you had the Tychus % damage, you had the Leoric % damage as well, which I also love playing into Diablo. And then Orphea, I looked at your build and I saw you also 1% damage at 16. So there was just no way you weren't getting those kills onto Diablo and Sonya. They were just falling very quickly. I thought you guys drafted quite well there. You kind of talked a little bit, but your tank drafting, there was a lot of times where you... especially game number 2, you didn't really put priority on grabbing your tanks, and game number 3 as well. You're kind of saying you wanted to counter the tanks there. So can you just explain a little bit more?
So I knew that Diablo was going to kind of be highly contested because Slice really wants to play him. But I won't take Diablo unless I know ETC's banned or they already have their tank, because ETC is a hard counter to Diablo. And it also leaves you, like, Diablo's pretty easily countered, but if you can interrupt his combo, like with a polymorph or any sort of knockback, and then of course you can pick up Tychus and things like that. So I actually don't like picking up Diablo early, but I do like to wait and see if it's a good time to pick up Diablo. But then if it's not, then, but also like any point control maps like Infernal Shrines or Braxis, I don't really like to pick up Diablo anyways. I prefer the sustain like of a Mei and the point control. Specifically Braxis. I'm actually surprised that Slice picked the Diablo first, because we talked last week about how much we like Mei on Braxis. So I was like, okay, if we're banning Lunara, I guarantee you she's going to first pick Mei, and then she first picked the Diablo. But maybe it was like partly to deny me too.
Yeah,
but
I have a feeling that's probably what's going on there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into those shout outs. We'll start down at the bottom with Salvaje. Where can people find you? What have you been up to these days?
Hey, yo, people can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/salvajegaming. And you can also find me on Twitter at Salvaje Gaming as well, and YouTube at Salvaje Gaming. And I stream Monday through Saturday, 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with some Heroes of the Storm. And Saturdays I do Salva Social Saturday, where we play community games and just have a really good time.
And Salvaje will be joining me on Sunday on this channel. We're going to be casting an NGS semifinals. I can't remember what division it is now, but it's happening Sunday evening. I think like 6 or 7. I don't know. I have so many games.
It's 11 for me, so.
Okay, 8.
Yep.
Are you East Coast? Yeah, you're East Coast?
East
Or
Coast,
Central?
Beast Coast,
Okay.
baby.
So then it must be 8 my time. So you can catch us on Sunday if you want to catch her casting. She's going to be coming to co-cast with me. Let's move up to Rockwell. What have you been up to these days? Where can people find you?
People can find me. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/rock_well, as my name is spelled ROQ, or on Twitter at the Rockwell. I'm more of a variety gamer. I do Here's the Storm on Fridays and Saturdays. Thursdays has become Final Fantasies days. Wednesdays is scary streams, and then Tuesday is kind of a temporary game while I just do some old birthday games that I'm trying to finish off.
All right, go give her a follow over at rock_well, link in chat. Move on up to Jennifer. What are you up to? Do you stream? Is there somewhere people can follow you on social media, or are you just hanging out in the Nexus?
I'm just hanging out in the Nexus, but I'm thinking about starting streaming maybe in 2021.
All right. Well, as soon as you do, let us all know. I'm sure you're going to have a bunch of people from the Girls Gang Squad community jumping over to your channel to drop you a follow. But until then, have best of luck in the Nexus and Storm League and all that jazz. We'll move on up to Jacqueline.
Hello. I finally got my new rig, so I got my streams all set up. I'm going to start streaming a lot more regularly. Haven't quite determined a time slot yet, but you can find me at twitch.tv/Jacqueline Hyde if the shout out bot wants to do that shindig. I think Salvaje and I were planning on doing for some Phasmophobia tomorrow.
It's all one word?
1 second. I think it's Jacqueline _Hyde.
Okay, because
sorry.
I had Jacqueline _Hyde typed and then...
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Correct. And then I'm also on Twitter at JQlin_Hyde because everyone else was way more clever than me, or rather, I was super late to Twitter.
I feel you there. My Jazzalene is taken by somebody who tweeted once when Twitter was like made and hasn't used the account ever since. So I was late to the ball too.
Yeah.
But go give her a follow. You're going to be streaming a lot more frequently. Do you have a schedule set or...
I don't have a schedule set, but I play a lot of roguelikes, a bunch of HOTS, and some strategy games.
All right, so go drop her a follow there, especially if you're interested in those types of games. And last but not least, we have Karu.
Hi, you can find me on twitch.tv/KaruCan. I'm streaming a lot more often now. I don't yet have a schedule, but that just means you have to follow and get the notifications and join my Discord. I'm mostly streaming HOTS, although I am 90% sure I'm going to pick up Shadowlands and at least get to max. So we'll see there. But I am also captain of Run and Wild NGS team, and we're doing tank tryouts next week. So if you are interested in tanking, we are looking for a diamond tank. Anybody out there, just contact me and we'll set up a scrim.
Yeah, Running Wild.
Woo! And lastly, the long-awaited app that I've been working on.
Oh.
Official release Monday, although I accidentally released it on the Google Play Store today, so it is technically out there, but I'm not going to tell you the name until the launch. So,
all right. Well, congrats on finishing that up. I hope the launch goes really well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, you can go.
No, if there's anything else you want to throw in, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for coming to play tonight. Congrats on the trio. Really, really impressive. I'm a little bit scared of making a team that can now take you guys on because you 3-0 Mur-der-locs. I don't know what I'm going to have to do.
Don't think about it. We just got lucky.
But yeah, congrats on the win once again. I look forward to having you guys back on. I'm going to reach out to you because I don't know if everybody's going to be available next week being American Thanksgiving. So I would like to still have GGs, but if it doesn't work out, we might take a break week next week. We'll just have to see what everyone's availability is like and if there's enough people to schedule a team against you. So keep an eye out on the Discord. And
All right.
GGs.
GGs.
Thank you. Thank you, Daxx.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey,
GG's, Mur-der-locs.
All right, let's get Daxx back up here. Just a moment. To end off the night, like I said, we are going to be raiding over Kai Berries. She is doing a birthday stream celebration, so we'll send you guys on over to her. Let me just get your cam back up here, Daxx. But while I'm working on that, where can people find you, Daxx?
The best place to find me is probably on the Twitter sphere, Daxx_HOTS over there. So today we finally got. So I originally got the phone call from the bank, so we are actually going to be closing. They told us originally the 30th we'd be able to get into our house, but the attorney is actually on vacation, so it'll be the first week of December. But hopefully at that point I'll have real person internet and be able to do some hot streaming, maybe some YouTube content, tossing around the idea of maybe some podcasting. I don't know what else. Yeah, so cool stuff is going to be happening there. But any of the Discords, Jazzy's channel, 9 times out of 10, usually casting something over here with you. Always a blast.
Love or in my chat, just cheering on the channel. I appreciate the support. I really do.
Of course.
So go give Daxx a follow on Twitter. And get ready, because it sounds like he's going to be content creator extraordinaire in a short while here. I wish you the best of luck with your move, though. I hope it all goes smoothly and that you guys get into your house well before Christmas so you have time to settle in.
I hope so.
In terms of what's going on, Girls Gang Squad, I did mention this earlier. There's going to be another charity tournament coming up here December 12th. It's going to kick off at 12 p.m. Pacific. That's noon. And we are going to be raising money for Marine Toys for Tots. I know there's a lot of families out there that have been affected with job loss because of COVID. So we're just trying to find a way to help out, and that's what we decided to settle on. So hopefully we can make some kids Christmases who might not otherwise have had gifts. So make sure you tune in. These tournaments are always a blast, and it always is just, I'm blown away from the support from the community. So definitely something you don't want to miss out on. And we already have a ton of interest. I think we have 36 of the 40 players already signed up for it. So just looking for maybe at least 7 or 8 more players, so we have a couple on backup in case there's no shows or emergencies that pop up. If you are interested, please DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open. DM me on Twitch. I'll probably take a little bit longer to see it there. DM me Discord, wherever you can find me. I will get you the information. We are also looking to get the first games of each series casted. I know previously we have just done one series on my channel, but we're gonna pick up a few more casters to catch each of the first games and then have them raid over my channel to cast the semifinals and finals. So if you're also interested in doing that, hit me up, because we are looking for a few casters to fill that role, but probably not some. I know there's a lot of women casters, but they are also players, and I need the players. Like, we always have trouble reaching the minimum amount there to, well, not that much trouble. There's 36 players signed up, but it's always just the struggle for the last few to fill in there. So I don't really want to take away from the players' bases there. So if you're interested in casting and you have some experience casting and you want to do that, you can also reach out to me or Slexi as well. She's the other person that always helps me run these tournaments. So make sure to mark your calendars, December 12th at noon, to help raise some money for Marine Toys for Tots. I will be back tomorrow. Not on my channel. You can find me over at Arrow RG. I'll put that link in the channel for you guys right now. We will be casting the Division B West game between Phoenix Rising, Emerald, and Uwu, which is going to be a really great show-off. If you guys don't know, that's actually Slexia, Unileska, Pang, Big Bird, Imran, Coffee Club TV. That's their team, is Uwu. So a lot of familiar faces over there and friends playing, and they're taking on Phoenix Rising Emerald. I know there's some familiar faces on that team as well. So yeah, should be a good game. You can catch me there 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, and then Sunday I will be casting in the evening. I think I have to double check. Salvaje said 8, but let me like really make sure because I don't know. I don't know if I told her the right time or if she's misremembering, but I feel like that's late. It's 7. It'll be 7
So 10
p.m.
her time, yeah.
Yeah. 7 p.m. Pacific on Sunday here. I'll be casting a Hollow Wife Gaming Cat Girls versus amateur opponents. That's the Division B Southeast semifinals for their, what do you call it? Coastal.
Yes.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
We
so
got
yeah,
there.
if you enjoy, the point is, if you enjoy Casted Heroes of the Storm games, you're in the right spot. Hit that follow button. I'll see you guys again next time. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to send you over to Kai Berries. Have yourselves a wonderful and safe weekend. If we're not back next week, have a wonderful Thanksgiving to you Americans out there, and make sure you stay safe out there. I know COVID's running rampant again, so keep yourselves protected. Wear masks. All that jazz.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We'll see ya.
Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.